Would you ship that? What you just played?
Let's go, Grinders!
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just step it up. Don't be scared. I came looking for booty.
Game over.
Well, I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
I'm so gone. No, I'm never turning back. I won't stop. I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on. You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack.
This is not worth it.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just step it
And so everything that we are doing with our content, with our our cloud.
Enough talk. Into the boat. Into the tunnel. Get to the chopper!
Yo, what's up, Grinders? We are here! The eve of Starfield, the day of Xbox's saving. Oh man, we're starting rough. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's back it up, let's back it up. Yo, let's back it up. Yo, what's up, Grinders? How you doing? Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just trying to get a couple more special clips for the Grinds board that I think you would enjoy. And you know what? There's a lot of lining up of the tapes. You know, I told you about the tapes and the things that we're gonna go over. So I had to make sure I had everything there. Who knows if I have everything, but Definitely. I had to make sure everything is lined up there. But sorry, I didn't mean to keep everybody waiting there. I respect your time, and thank you very much for hanging in there and waiting. It's going to be a good show. We got topics, dude. It's Starfield time. Like, we're talking about what's going on and what's happening. So we're going to be going through that stuff. Oh, man, somebody skipped softball? Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you so much. By the way, let me do all the shout-outs here. We got Sergeant here telling me it just works. They said, mod check, the LM wanted to know where I was. Sorry, I really apologize, LM. Compost Smurf, Zero Steel. Todd, Uber driver. He's referred to the Uber driver. Here, what's up? Econo, how you doing? 7 hours to the nearest planet to go through it. Planet's flat. Nick, what's up? The Claymores. Tell me to wake up. LM comes back. Yeah, Virtual Dan, how you doing? Sergeant. Maniolas, what's up? VIP Grinders in the house. How you doing, Nick? What's up? Not your mother. Get your mother. Where? Get your mother, please. Where is that one? I even have that one. I like that. Get your mother, and then I can respond back with, where is it? Oh, I don't know. I thought I had it. Oh, man. This Grinds boy is getting too big. Everybody likes this one.
Sir, do we get the win this time?
Oh, goodness. The mother one's on here. I got that. Shout out to you. Let's see. Who else we got in here? We got Leech. Bill, how you doing? Steak Open Fire. That's right. You heard the fires. Mad Joe, what's up? New VIP member there. Sam Ash, how you doing? Diablo Doc Matt, how you doing, man? Freddy, get to the chopper. Get to the goddamn chopper. I don't want to hear it again. Tarian, how you doing, Tarian? Toots Serum Enrique Alvarez, 16 times the boredom, he says. Oh, damn. Wild Rat, what's up? 8K, Dual Sensible, how you doing? Oh, man, Ryan says you skipped a shower for this. Oh, man. Oh, man, what happened to my thing? Oh, no. The grinds board. There we go. I fix it. Oh, man, my grinds board stuck. Didn't like something. Oh, there we go. Hold on.
I came looking for booty.
There we go. What's up for Brizzle? How you doing? Ron M with 10 gifted grindhouse members. Hey! Spreading the love. Thank you, Ron M. VIPs in the house. We know what the VIPs are doing. They're hanging out. They're waiting for quality coming on in. The Herman Holtz has to get off his yacht. And he has to be partying right now. Brian East, what's up? Yes, you're green now. Oh, damn. T-Bone, what's up? He's a new VIP member. Thank you. Pedro Martinez. Oh, my goodness. D. Pedro Martinez in the house. JX Gaming. Welcome to the VIP membership. There's JX, man. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ron. And keep it coming, man. Neo got in there. Oh, man, we're going to be adding you guys to this famous board. Oh, who is it? You know where they're going. The VIPs. Here they come.
Quality! The quality splits between two PlayStations.
Partying in the club. I gotta now. You know what? I gotta add Starfield back here. But shout out where the gamers do the talking. We're doing quality splits here. Welcome to the new VIPs partying. Flex those emojis. We got Phil Ness in a headlock. We got Terminator Cerny. Use them all. We got boosters. We got Herman Holtz quality splits. Yes, the 3 C's. We'll be seeing those today. And Phil Spencer that says, oops, you took a piss in my cereal. And we also have the Falute in the house as well. And Phil Spencer holding up money to buy Activision like John Cusack. But shout out to more VIPs! Hey, Maniolas with 10! Yo, Devil Shooter, welcome Reaper, Dead Pixel! Gino DeMarco! Hey, Gino DeMarco's here! Oh, damn! He's in the VIPs. Richard Farmer showing all the emojis! Yes! The noob of games is here. Woo! Retro Gaming's king. Wild Rat made it. Oh my goodness. Gotta add you to the grinds board for partying with Mr. Herman Holtz and the quality games. Keep them coming. Wow, man, those VIPs, they're partying, man. They're always partying. Quality games. They got Baldur's Gate 3 coming out soon. Well, actually, I got the thing of it, right? But I only made it past the carry character, dude. Oh, damn. Hold on, I gotta fix this thing. It is what it is. I did my creative character, though. I'm making a golden dragon named Grinds. I'm going to be grinding. I'm beating up people in this. Baldur's Gate, I got it, so I'm going to be playing that. Also, I got Starfield, so I'm going to be doing Starfield again at I get it in midnight, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to stream it tonight. I don't know. Mr. Tennis on the TikTok? Oh, damn. Yo, let me get to the... Oh, my goodness. Yo, Jake's Gaming, thank you so much, man. Let's do that. Let's see. Wait, I got a Jenna Hayes too. She said the music sounds like Mega Man.
You're my number one customer.
Quality. Yeah, no, it's not Mega Man. It is just the party music that Herman Holtz always plays inside his quality club. And, and shout out to Jake's Gaming. Yo, thank you so much, man. He goes, yo, Jez, how was your holiday weekend? Just caught me my pre-order of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Spider-Man 2 a Collector's Edition coming October 20th. So pumped for the game, I took the day and the day after off. It's going to be a fire show. Hey, thank you so much, JX Gaming. Yeah, it was a good weekend. It was busy, but last time going to the pools and all that other stuff before the summer wrapped up, everything closes now, like the pools and all that other stuff. So hanging out, had some things done to the house, and it was a busy weekend, but I got to try to game a little bit. And then my son got back into Fortnite and kicked me off again. Goddamn. Yes, you will see my first impressions. I will do that. But yeah, and I'm telling you, man, I saw that the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came up. That was crazy for pre-order, dude. And it said it for this year. I think it said December or something like that. That's gonna be huge, man. That is gonna be another huge thing because Square Enix has to come off of that. And we'll talk Final Fantasy. I got some comparators here in the tapes to do that. And Spider-Man 2, I did the unboxing on Friday. We did a double unboxing on Friday. I did the controller, and then Frog did the controller and the console. So, check that out because we did the double unboxing via the web. It was the first ever there. And Spider-Man, dude, it is happening. Spider-Man 2 is going to be absolutely insane. That controller is awesome. The console looks awesome. And, yeah, man, it's going to be crazy. But thank you so much, Jake's Gaming. Shout out there. Yo, that's it. Brian East just finished the gym. He's ready to hear some blunders. Yep, yo, dude, you're going to be hearing it. But, man, I know. And that's what's crazy, too. Just what JX was saying. Like, how we say, like, how quiet Sony is, the big showcases and all this other stuff. Dude, and they got this stuff lined up still. It's pretty crazy. Like, it is insane. Like, coming off of Final Fantasy 16 and then just more exclusives. And they seem to be really focusing right now on releasing hardware or announcing hardware nonetheless. I did order the Q-Tip, the PlayStation Remote Play, the Portal. I'll definitely give impressions of that here. I'm going to try that out. I'm not a huge fan of this stuff, but the fact that you don't have to subscribe, there's not another subscription, is basically playing what you got around the house. Maybe. We'll see it. I'll see how good it works. We'll see. But, and I also got the collector's edition of Spider-Man, just like JX Game, and I ordered that thing too. I think you could still get them. But those plates, forget about it. You can't get those things. Those friggin' plates are gone. Dude, they did not make a lot of those plates. I don't know what the hell they did, but those plates are gone. They are gone. I was at GameStop, and the guy was like, yeah, they've been gone. But Frog did a deep dive with the screwdriver. That's right, man. Yeah, Frog even added his memory. They added the SD, the M.2 live as well. Crazy. Right? Screwdrivers. Remember how big deal that was? Brad, remember? Oh, a big deal that was? Yeah, I know, Retro. Game over, right? X-Hawks. Hey, what's up, X-Hawk? How you doing? You enjoying your Starfield? According to Deal, he says that Xbox just got stomped out PlayStation because of Starfield. I don't know what world he lives in. Maybe he lives in one of those 1,000 planets. But I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's one of the things we'll talk about today. It's like, really, it's not fair to Starfield. He got his degree. Please, there's the disclaimer on the video that you need a degree in order to update the M.2. So just be sure you do that. Okay, because you need a degree. MIT preferred to handle the screwdrivers. Some people got injured with those. You know? And then and when they saw the screw, they're like, no, I got to pay extra just to plug it in the back and not download games. But anyway. Download Snoozefield. Yeah. We'll see. And that's right, Ron M. We got that Forza not at launch. It's called in the Grindhouse, the Forza game, the next one. It's not Forza 8. It doesn't have Forza. It's called Forza Not at Launch Edition. That's what it is. So there it is. He was in the Gas Planet. Yeah, he was in one of those follow-off planets. Made the flat ones on there. And I didn't know if anybody caught it in the title screen, but it was Starfield or Starfish. But there is a little chocolate there. And that's a little homage to good old Conker's Bad Fur Day, referring to the chocolate starfish in his rap, in his song. So if you got it, you got it. Chocolate starfish, we'll talk about it. Oh, damn, not that. But we'll talk about the game as talking about starfish. So, what the hell's going on here? So, who's playing Starfield? I told you, I'm going to be downloading it. I got it with my 3-month. I've been buying, because I bought the Asus, that ROG, and I returned it because it burnt my SD. I had 3 months of Game Pass, so I'm on my 3rd month now, and actually happens to be overlapping with Starfield, so I'll get it there. I'm not paying no $35 to get a game that I'm going to subscribe to get to, so I'm not doing that. I'll get it in Game Pass and try it out and download it on there. Yo, shout out Twisted, thank you. 5 more memberships to the VIP. Man, the VIPs, you guys are putting me to work.
You just made the
You really
list.
want to break the grind. You really want to break that wall that I'm going to have to, do a club 2 on that one. On that one. But, Chad, thank you so much. Twisted saying, putting me to work on
You
that.
just made the list.
Welcome, Rumble, Matty, Beast. Yes, says the VIP grinders. Nassim, thank you. Horatio Ward, welcome. It's called Forza with nothing more, nothing less. It's called the Not at Launch edition on that one. Thank you so much.
You just made the
Twisted.
list.
Thank you. Stuff. Yes, we'll talk about that. So, where to begin with this thing? VIPs are on 5, man. We got to use those emojis. I want to see. We're gonna get that.
Made the list.
I'm gonna get that new emoji coming. I gotta check to see how many I need. Then I might need like another 15 or something. I think we might have got it. So great. So, where to begin?
You just made the list.
Like I said before in my video, I feel that to Bethesda, Starfield is a success. And I did something here. I was looking at some things. And, just going down the metas, right? The Metacritic stuff. And again, I really don't use Metacritic for the number itself. But what I do is I use Metacritic for, to see, what is the general consensus? Like, what are the things that are bringing the score down? And one of the things I was looking at is, the history of Bethesda and their games, right? So let's see if I get let's see if I have Starfield here. Oh, no, I had it here. Hold on. I had it up here. And I thought there was a way I had to, here it is. So, this was something I was looking at. I'll just show this. Look at their average school. This is the thing. So, there's a history with Bethesda and Todd Howard specifically about over talking, and really hyping up things that are really not there. He kind of was just saying, that mountain, you could go to it, and there's the Tell Me Lies video, all this other stuff on this. So you got Starfield on PC. On Xbox, it just dropped to 86, and I think by tomorrow, there are going to be more reviews dropping tomorrow, I am sure, with the launch day, and I have a feeling it's going to go down. And that's another thing we'll talk about today, about what's been going on since those initial reviews have dropped, and what's the perception, what's going on. And I got some crazy hot take here on this. But look at this. You had Starfield. Their last game, the Elder Scrolls Online, 82, Hi-Fi Rush, and again, these are all the PC ones, but Ghostwire. But I wanted to look at just Bethesda themselves, not Softworks, just Bethesda. I had that before. But see, it did drop. But I wanted to... Where is it? because it's pulling in those other games like the Dooms and stuff. Here's Elder Scrolls Online. Like, look at how this has been going. And then there's Fallout 76, right? So that was kind of the last one that Todd Howard was really hyping up, was the Fallout 76. And then he said he's not part of that stuff. And then you look back at, yeah, see, this is not the one I wanted. So here's Fallout 76 on the Xbox One, a 49. This is what they've been this is their last game that Bethesda had. Fallout 76, dude. 49 on Xbox, a 50. What the hell are these? A 53 on PS4 and a 52, right? And we keep going. So then we go and look at what was the other one they did? They did Fallout VR, and then they did Fallout 4. And these were the DLCs to Fallout 4. Fallout 4 didn't do, the DLCs didn't do too good. Here's Fallout 4. 88. So this is what the Fallouts. This is what I was surprised at. Here. 87, 88, 84, Fallout 4. Right? So, like, okay. Their God tier kind of days were back with Skyrim. These are the DLCs. Like, everybody's like, Bethesda makes it like God tier. You know, Todd Howard doesn't, they don't miss. He does this. This is Todd Howard. This is the big deal. And it's just like all the talk for them. This is when they were hitting, dude. This was like their last big hit right here. Not even Fallout 4 was up there with these. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And that's what I thought was pretty interesting, because I went back and looked at Fallout. Look at the years too, right? Dude, like 2011. Skyrim was their peak. Yeah. I thought that was pretty, like, people like talking like this is like their last game. Dude, that game was just over a decade ago. And then before Elder Scrolls Skyrim, they had Fallout, Fallout New Vegas they didn't do. And then what was Fallout 2 here? Fallout 3, Fallout 3. Yeah, and Fallout 3, they hit big too. That was like their best Fallout, was Fallout 3. Back in 2008. Do you notice something too? 2008, they released Fallout 3. 2011, they released Skyrim. 3 years. Isn't that pretty wild? And then all of a sudden, they did Fallout 76, and then it's been like, 78 years to do it. So, like, I don't know. I was just looking at, like, their history and going, like, this whole God tier thing and all this other stuff. Like, as a Bethesda game, coming off of Fallout 76, and Elder Scrolls really wasn't them, the online. Elder Scrolls Online. But coming out for Fallout 76, even Fallout 4. Because that was my biggest surprise. Like, Fallout 4 was good, but, like, that was their dip-off from their hottest one, right? That was the pinnacle. 2008, 2011. But look, and then you had Fallout 4 in, when was this? 2015. 4 years later, after Skyrim, Fallout 4 dropped 2015. They were, like, going back and forth, cycling, right? And then after Fallout 4, that's when things went kablooey. They had some DLC and stuff like that, and then that's when things just didn't go too hot. And it was just something I was just noticing, that, like, they're coming off of not too high of a track record there. And Fallout 76 was absolute garbage. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting with them there. And I got 50, and they still got 55 credit, Metacritic, and then PC has 52. So, he has this history of, like, just lying and stuff. And again, I want to preface this, that I'm not here to say, is this game bad or not? I can tell you from my opinions of what I've seen. And my biggest frustration with this, and the reason why it grinds my gears, is that it fell into the MO of every... I think Xbox heard it. I think Microsoft owning it hurt the game. And people are going to say, you're crazy. Why bad Microsoft? Because I feel like Microsoft, by them owning Bethesda, I felt that it made Bethesda complacent. It made them just kind of like not really marketing and showing the game off. Because that's the one thing about Todd Howard. He talks a lot, but he also does a lot of showing of his games. Especially 6 months. Remember, like, we didn't see the whole the game, and he's like, oh, Todd Howard doesn't like to show the game until 6 months before launch. He don't like to announce it 6 months before launch. And it was just like, and then they showed it the year before. And then it got delayed a year. And I feel that the whole idea, and maybe this integration and all this other stuff, I felt that it could have affected the development of the game. Maybe they wanted to do more. And maybe Microsoft was like, no, that's just fine.
You're my #1 customer.
Just make sure it's polished. Make sure that it just works. And we'll add the stuff later. You don't need to have all that there. Because with Bethesda, like, you got to remember, this game was supposed to come out last year. And to see, yeah, there's no bugs. People say no bugs. I don't care about the bugs. The problem I have is with the design of the game and the fact that they hid the game. And that's the biggest travesty of the whole thing. I feel like that Microsoft owning them allowed Bethesda to hide the game. And Microsoft was very cautious in what was shown. And that's the thing that we're going to talk about. Now, I don't just bring stuff up. No, we're going to go to the tapes and show the differences. When you have a game that you're confident in and you're ready to show, and when you have a game when you're afraid and you're protecting it. And that's been the biggest revelation of them all. But let me get JX Gaming right here. JX Gaming says, Jez, don't want to make you feel old, but I was a kid when those games came out. Love these games and grow up to see Bethesda has become so sucky. It sucks so much. Yeah, right? Those were the ideal days, dude. Those were the days, dude. Yeah, I was in my teens around that time. Teens, or yeah, late teens, something like that, playing those games. On that one. But let me just show something here. So, one of the things that came up is we go to the Starfield Direct, right? Let me see. Do I have a... Is this the one here? Let me just see here. Because the main thing I wanted to discuss on this Grindhouse is the lies of Uber driver Todd Howard. And good for Bethesda games. So, like, just the thing is, like, if it was Bethesda, I think this would have been a good comeback story for Todd Howard and Bethesda. However, $7 billion acquisitions sitting around, how Phil Spencer bought him and Pete Hines, and that whole PR thing, and Microsoft owning Bethesda, I think put such a black cloud and hype for this game, and that's where we're seeing the biggest issue here. The biggest issue is this game is not being looked at a game just as a game. This game is being looked at as the starting point of the revenge and comeback story of Phil Spencer and Xbox. That's the craziest thing about it. It's not just being looked at as just, hey, it's a new Bethesda game. It has the weight of all the issues that Xbox has had. Years of no games, bad launches, destroying franchises that they came up with. Crackdown 3, Halo. And I still don't see to this day how Microsoft owning these companies are making them better. They've been trying for years, dude. Leach, that's what they've been trying for over a decade. They're waiting for that E3 moment. And the problem is that this game has the weight of all that stuff. And that's the problem. And that's why this game is getting all it's like people are like, is this it? Everything's but people don't look at that. Look at what Forza's turning into. They're not at launch edition. Like, it's not changing. This is not the turning point. They thought Halo Infinite was the turning point. It's not. Shit, close it. Yeah. So, the point is that it was never going to meet the expectations because Xbox has dug themselves in such a hole with all, and they're trying to get out of it with these acquisitions, but all they're doing is just putting a tape over a wound. It's not doing anything. And the thing is that they use their crazy little marketing stuff to hide all the stuff. Because if you look at this game, right, what is the biggest problem right now? Is it the gameplay? Is it the stuff? No, they're saying the shooting is good. They're saying the game is doing well. The game is like, oh, the story's not good, which, for an RPG, zoinks. The story falls flat. But the shooting's not bad. The exploration, the whole marketing of this game. Go anywhere. Do anything. Turns out to be a facade. Turns out to be fake smoke and mirrors. Is that Microsoft's doing? Because that's what they did. They protected this game. The biggest conversations about this game is all the stuff that was hidden from the game. I spent all this time leading to Starfield to say, show us more. Show us more. Show us straight up gameplay. Because if you show straight up gameplay, now we see exactly what we're going to do. But instead, they do this. See? Instead, they do a direct. And they do all this. Are these guys here? Look. We need all this?
Which is the
we
rigid,
need this?
hard function over style.
Do we need that? Do we need this?
And then punk, which is all about style.
Do we need this? You're showing us the game that we're going to play. This is the extra content. Imagine you're going to see a movie, grinders. Imagine you're going to see a movie, and instead of showing you a trailer to the movie, they go show you the extra content that comes with the Blu-ray. Because that's exactly what Microsoft's doing. They're showing you the Blu-ray extra content and using that to launch the game.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home.
Where's the loading screen of that guy walking around? Oh, they hit it.
And your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch.
Why don't we continue following that guy leaving the ship?
A bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty. What's the plan, Captain?
This is your star map.
What happened? How did we get there?
It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations.
Oh, okay. So you could choose a landing spot or fast travel to a known location. Well, wait a second. Choosing a landing spot, you're implying that I'm going to land there, right? And then I can fast travel to the sea. But wait a second. Isn't landing fast traveling? Because you just click on it and it fast travels you to the planet.
Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource-heavy.
Many plans.
Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses
We're watching menu screens.
your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems. And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
All right, let's go. Let's show us the whole thing. Okay, let's see. Wow, he's there instantly! Look at that! Instant! Dude, is that how it is in the game? Is that how it is in the game?
Hold on.
Okay.
Instant!
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
He's
Holy
there!
Spirit,
Oh, no.
activate. Holy
Warp
Spirit,
drive.
activate. Activate. Activate.
We're there!
Welcome to UC Space.
He's there. Now what are we doing? Now we're gonna land? We're gonna fly into the planet, right?
Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo.
Now what they're telling you now, and this is what we found out, that's as far as you go. They're scanning your cargo. Is he approaching the planet? They're implying that he's approaching the planet. They're scanning him before he goes to land, right? This is the smoke and mirrors that they put up because this has been the conversation. The conversation is not the game itself. It's about all the stuff that they didn't reveal and all the stuff they hid with the smoke and mirrors. He's not flying to the planet. He's hovering there.
Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
What the?
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis,
There we go.
your eyes are
Now, we don't see all the loading screens to get off the ship.
guided upwards.
Just
to
show us
these
straight up gameplay.
boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city.
Why? Who this? Who this? Angela, who this? Get off the screen. This is what I mean. Who needs this? This is what I said. What is this? The problem is they're showing Angela and they're not showing the guy getting off the friggin' ship. That's the problem here. We don't want to see Angela. Angela, no. Are you playable in the game? Get out of here. Show us the game
We've ever made. Not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds.
What happened to the guy? Why are we... Who this?
And quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city
Brian! Get out of here! I don't need to see Brian!
Story. We try.
Brian, are you in the game? Where's the controller?
And tell as many small stories as possible.
This is the DVD Blu-ray extras. This is not selling the game and what you actually do there. That's the problem. It's all hype and cuts, and it's not. This is not even. Are these? What is he doing?
Colony War Memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's coffee! There's so much coffee going on here.
Oh, this coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Oh,
And-
good, then it's not just me.
Just because nobody cares, Angela's back. They brought Angela back again. Hey, Angela, tell us.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
Oh, now we're walking. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group.
William, this is the problem. This game, listen, you want to do this, you do this. But you show the game first and then you do this. The problem is that this is them showing the game. This is the problem with Microsoft. This is the Microsoft bull that they do. They show dudes in lunchrooms. No. You saw the Spider-Man gameplay? That's just show it. Then you do the DVD. William Shen.
Most people don't even know they exist anymore.
What are you doing there? Get out of there!
They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different.
Why are we in the thing now? Where are we?
You're my #1 customer.
Spoke to you. The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god. Look at how it's coming together.
Look, this is horrible.
That means there's
Dude, they look like the friggin' animatronic people from the Disney, what is that friggin' Disney ride? The goddamn Disney ride to Tomorrowland. Where you ride on the thing, they look like animatronics. That's what these people look like. They just stand there going, they're like, going left and right. They go like, oh, like.
Set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast.
Emil. Who this, Emil? Who this?
Of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian.
So this is how they chose to show the game. Now when people are playing the game, they're like, yo, there are all load screens. These things don't work. The missions are not like. Do you hear the difference? That's what's been the problem with Starfield. Was the marketing was telling you to explore the massiveness. They had Angela telling you about how big everything is, and then you realize that everything's fake. They're hiding all their load screens. They did the same thing with Redfall.
Who believes that there's definitely something
They can't
else
show
out
their
there.
games, dude.
Noel, the gifted scientist, and Sarah Morgan.
I don't think they would have done this. I don't think they would have done this if it wasn't for Phil Spencer's grubby hands. Look at these people. And this is a next-gen $70 game. $70.
Morgan's protege, and Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems
$70.
and Constellation's financier.
There were animations of God of War Kratos getting on the boat and Xbox, like X-Hawk here. There he is. Pardon him. They're using the same animations for Kratos to jump on the ship. Oh, $70. Jim Lion Ryan, payers play. Payers. And these are the NPCs that they got. These are the characters that they got in this game. And nobody's saying a word. The charm. It's not as buggy as other Bethesda games. Well, and I've been hearing that a lot with all these reviews and stuff. Well, it's good for a Bethesda game. Oh, wait a second. I thought Bethesda was God tier. I thought Bethesda was like doing a 90 or something. This was supposed to be Game of the Year. Game of the Generation, they said. They said Game of the Generation. The Bethesda. So if you expected Bethesda to give you a Game of the Generation, then this stuff right here should be grinding your gears. How is this acceptable? Well, it's not as buggy as the other Bethesda games. I thought this was a Game of the Generation. What are you talking about? If your expectations were Game of the Generation, then this should be very disappointing to you. Especially, they showed you the best of the best, and then when you got to play it, you found all the stuff they were hiding behind the curtain.
There.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate. Sam Coe, the former space cowboy.
Look at this guy.
And Barrett.
You know what I hate about these
This is the most generic cowboy.
Focus when we're designing.
We still got more people.
A new?
They are wrong.
Look at this guy. This is what they showed. Who this? What is this guy? Is this a main character? What is this thing? What are we doing here? Who this? Game of the Generation. Xbox, the Ultra, gave it a 10 out of 10. It did what it needed to do for Xbox. Who this guy?
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
Enrique Alvarez, the 2, he goes, you know what have made Starfield better? VR. I don't know if I want to see this guy in VR, Enrique, though. The guy looks damn ugly. Arnold, who are you? Thank you. Twisted Sig with the 2. We got him right here. I'm looking right here who this guy is. Where is he? There's Get Your Mother, Please.
Get your mother, please.
Where is the one? I have the one. It goes like, oh my God. What is this guy?
This is not worth it. Put this thing away. This is not worth it.
What is this?
Get your mother, please.
I don't understand it.
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine.
I have no clue.
They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet.
To be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation system we ever had. We let the player get as close as possible.
They showed
to make
more
whatever they
people
want,
talking
with
about the game
various
than the
facial
freaking
warps you
game
can blend
itself.
together.
And they wonder why people are surprised.
Piercings, teeth settings. It's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be.
I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapon. Through
fully surveying planets. Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat.
Dude, I just click around. I just see
More
people
dynamic,
singing offices.
The animations are more fluid.
And you wonder why the discourse is, dude, there's load screens everywhere. Because remember, this show was all we saw of the game. That was it. This Bethesda Direct, this Starfield Direct was it. They showed some films at Gamescom, but nobody saw that released to us. That's it. This is all we had was this Starfield Direct of all these people talking about the game. You'll go everywhere. You'll do everything. Here we go. Todd, tell me some more.
Experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters. We wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
These are on 10% of the planet. This is the Starfield Direct. This is all they showed. Now, this, and you know what? And then this is what you got. Here's the one that everybody has seen. So apparently, she flies all the way to Pluto.
That exists in space within the solar system with every other planet orbiting. So no, clearly it is not designed for you to actually visit planets. There is no landing animation. You can't fly to a planet and then land on it like you can in No Man's Sky. They did say that from the start. But you can get up very, very, very close and then eventually go inside of a planet. It is technically possible. You are moving through space. The game is just definitely not designed for you to do that. And honestly, one of the first things that I wanted to try when even booting up Starfield was flying into the sun just to see what would happen. I suspect the exact same thing would happen that happened here, but the problem is the sun is so far away. If it took me 7 hours to get from Pluto's orbit to Pluto and you can't spawn near the sun at all, I would have to spawn in the orbit of the nearest planet. I mean, again, 1,000 years. It would take so long to get there. But thank you to everybody who joined me on this fun journey of flying to Pluto for 7 hours straight. Just to confirm, for science, if you are really moving in space and what the objects in space actually do. I think an explosion animation would have been really cool, and that's like maybe a cool mod, but more is like super cool. But you go inside the planet and it says 0 to Pluto, and it said that for as long as I flew. I think it's inside of Pluto. wonder how long does it now take to get out of Pluto?
She flew into
What did you
a
expect
fake
from
planet.
space travel versus like it's a video game, so you should be able to travel and it should be fun? I think I'm in the camp of people of like the point of this game, especially now that I've played a lot more of it, is that it's an RPG and it's about talking to people. It's not really a space exploration game, and that's okay. But
That's not okay, because that's exactly what they marketed as, a space exploration game, right? Todd Howard was going around saying, this is not just one planet. This is every planet.
When exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name.
She
Let's
flew
head
into a
out.
JPEG. Yeah, it was a flat planet. It was advertised as such, exactly. And that's the biggest
Our
discourse.
mission was to convey the wonder and majesty
As soon as we hit a load screen, you see a developer.
of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language game. It has a slightly retro than relatable for
Captain.
If you about and dream up the space game, what if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do?
What was that?
I hope this is not true.
We are not limited in where we can go and what we can do?
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy
Oh, no.
Spirit,
Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
And that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since then with the games we've built, our technology, and all of us here in the studio. We've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look. Until now, that we had the technology to create it. From the rocks at your feet, to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds.
Yeah, boundaries, right?
That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too.
It'll take a couple tons of load screens you could get there, though.
We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person. We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources, do a mission, and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
And we heard that, right? These are not my words.
All the way up over that hill. Now I could just sit here and hold down W, but instead I'm actually going to press the key that I use for auto run, which is something you can set on PC. So I'm just going to hit that, and then my hands are free, and I can check your comments on YouTube or whatever while it just runs forward for me, because there's nothing else to do in the meantime. So we're just gonna let the game play itself until something interesting happens. And here we are at the ocean. There we go. We made it. Still no points of interest have spawned. There's nothing like that. This area of the planet, for whatever reason, is just completely empty with nothing to see or find. Okay, and now as you can see, we just have to
Here's their marketing. Explore with unparalleled freedom. Right? The HDR doesn't work.
11 out of 10. There is no world where Starfield's an 11 out of 10. There is no world where Starfield's an 11 out of 10. There is no world where Starfield's an 11 out of 10.
Yeah, is that right?
I can't just fast travel back to my ship, and instead I have to run on foot for 10 minutes to get back there so that I can force the game to behave properly. But perhaps the most damning thing with all of Starfield is that the game's procedural engine fails to provide a truly unique encounter or point of interest every time. In my first 20 hours with the game, I was using a spreadsheet because, shout out to Bethesda, they gave us review codes a full 2 weeks ahead of time.
You're my number one customer.
So you're seeing that the biggest problem right now,
a lot of loading screens and menus. You can look at a big map, warp to a new sector, and float around and look at a planet, maybe talk to another pedestrian ship, do a few things. Then you look at the planet with your scanner, and then you can see everywhere you can really land or really what the planet has to offer. Then you click on that, and then a loading screen, and then you're landed. Then you have to click leave ship when you're landed, and then it loads you out there briefly. You don't just hop off. So do you see, there's like a lot of barriers. The presentation, the boringness of just clicking around on a map or a scanner, all really hurts the experience. It's not as smart as it comes off initially. You know, presenting you with fuel consumption and a bunch of numbers to seem sciencey. You're really just clicking on stuff, and it's a bummer. Same goes for...
So we did this on the other thing, but like this is the thing, like that's the actuality of it. And you see
an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person in your data menu. This is the hub crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back to map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel.
You see this stuff, right? This is like, again, the lies of Bethesda. Like, they just, of Todd Howard. Like, they said all this stuff. Like, I understand marketing, but when people get their hands on, like, this was the funniest thing, because even leading up to this, the leaks that was showing the boundaries, they were taking them down. They were taking down anything that people showed about, like, all these issues, and they waited until the game was available to buy for the Super Special Edition before they were able to talk about it. And I remember even Thrash was going through stuff, and Thrash was like, they were taking stuff down, like all the bad physics, all the glitching, all the stuff, all the things that people were sharing because they got the game early, they were taking it all down. And it's like, the problem is that you marketed it and you showed what you wanted to show, but you didn't show just straight up gameplay. And you use your staff and standing there and all this other stuff. Let me show you something. Let me show you something here. Because I was at this, right? I was at this live. Final Fantasy 16. Let me get into right here. Let me go into JX Gaming says, game is so good that 200,000 gamers are refunding the game on Steam. 16 times the lies. Yeah. Because the game is not pushing their computers. Like, it's not really doing anything. The game is glitchy, is buggy, but those were the charm of Bethesda. Now, look at this. PAX East, I was here.
So again, to prove to you that the game isn't all tight quarters shrouded in everlasting darkness, let me whip out the old PS5 to show you one of our more larger explorable areas that we call fields. Right here.
The area, so these were things from their presentation that they had people talked about. So they came out here to squash what people were trying to bring up about the game.
行きましょう。
All right, let's switch the screen to the PS5. There.
止まってない。よかっ
Okay,
た。
it's not froze. It didn't freeze. It didn't freeze.
今ポーズかけておいたんで。
We pause it. Now we're gonna unpause. Here we go. Wait a minute. Wait. Controller. I just want to show. Look. This is not a video. Okay.
あんなかっこ悪い動きしないでくれるかな。
I'm sorry. Yeah, I made Clive look bad in that, but you know, I had to show you it was real.
まあバリスゼアの世界、これフィ
Verifying
ールドと呼ばれる、
in-game,
まあ大体
exactly.
2キロ ×2 キロ四方のエリアになりますが、かなりね広いマップっていうのももちろん用意されてます。
So again, we do have these very open, spacious areas. This one happens to be again about 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers in size.
でちょっと進んでみましょう。
Notice, they spoke about areas, and they said 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. They didn't say explore the whole land. So when people knew that this was a section, you set the expectations for the gamers. You know that there's an area here. You hear what he said. They're 2.2 kilometers. You hear that they're setting the expectations. They're letting you know with gameplay, with the presentation, what to expect. They're not saying, explore the entire world, open world, because what will people do? They will come in here and go, no, they're segments. Look, Final Fantasy had it. Nobody complained. Know why? Because they told you. They didn't lie. See the difference? And watch what else they do.
All right, let's head.
They said a guided open world.
This
Exactly.
way.
And he said it right there, the size of it.
でまあこれ普通のハイファンタジーの世界にはね存在しないオブジェクトですが、こちら1500年前に存在していたと言われる空の文明と言われる謎のね、古代文
Do
明
you see
の
the
遺跡が
difference, though,
各所
of
に
how
点
you
在してい
should
ま
be
す。
showing the game?
Again, we mentioned before that the game is high fantasy, but everywhere in the world you're going to see these type of old relics from an ancient civilization, which we call the Fallen, which existed up until about 1,500 years ago.
This shows exactly what you're going to
で
do
実際こ
here.
のフィールドの中にはこうやった、人々がね集まってキャンプなどが、開かれていたりします。
And of course, in these large fields, it's not just places for battle, but you also have towns.
But watch this part.
皆さんは物語が存在してます。
So with Final Fantasy 16, we have this world map, and these are the areas that you can explore.
で実際にプレイヤーの皆さんは物語を進めていくとこのワールドマップに、行けるエリアというのがどんどんアンロックされていきます。
And as you proceed through the story, you'll be unlocking more and more areas that you can visit.
で基本的には物語ストーリーを進めるためには新しくアンロックされた場所で、まあ、バトルをしたり物語の展開が起こったりするんですけど、もちろんそれに従わずに他のエリアに行ってアイテムを取ってきたり、モブを探したりそういったことも自由にプレイできるようになってます。
And again, of course, players can choose time there is.
怖いね。
And here we go. 1,
2, 3, 4ぐらいですね。
All right, here we are. Boom.
まあダウンローディング出さなくていいよっていうギリギリぐらい。
That's right. Yeah, it's just short enough that we don't have to put a now loading symbol on the screen.
まあでは
That was fast traveling from one environment to another environment. They counted just under 4 seconds. They counted the load screen. Tell me how Starfield was presented. They hid all of it, because they didn't show straight up gameplay. They did a hype reel with all developers walking in slow motion, showing off their studio and talking about the game and talking and showing clips of here and there and what they wanted to show. The typical Microsoft, let's hide the game and stealth drop it into Game Pass because we don't need to have spent $70 on a game. Showing this running live in front of a live audience, load screens, combat.
Whatever your name is,
this
get ready for the big surprise.
Respects us. And that's what it's about. As a gamer, as a consumer, this shows us respect. You may not like the game. You may think it's boring. You may not be interested in it. But at least they are trying to be respectful and not take advantage of us by showing us smoke and mirrors and then selling a $70 package, because that's been the narrative. the narrative of the reviews of Starfield. Again, an 85, an 80, whatever the hell it is, an 86, an 88. Those are not bad scores. But the discourse has been all the stuff that Bethesda did not show. That's been the problem, and it's bad. I beat Forspoken and the DLC, Aaron. What am I going to talk about? The game came out in January. February. What are we talking about Forspoken? I beat the game, and I beat the DLC. And I also, now I'm playing Final Fantasy, and then there's Spider-Man. What? We don't have to dwell on a game. You guys are going to now hold on to Starfield. That's the problem. You're holding a candle to a game you were never interested in. You're only interested in the goddamn game because Microsoft spent $7 billion and did a whole political campaign and now is in court for Activision. That's the only crap that you want. It was because Phil Spencer made it a goddamn spectacle for you. That's the reason why you even give a shit about Bethesda. It's because Phil Spencer put on a dog and pony show for you. Oh, we're buying them, we're keeping them, and it was $7 billion. They're one family now. Yeah, because Phil Spencer did this acquisition spree, wet all your noodles, and now you give a shit about Bethesda. Yeah, and now hold on to Starfield because what's next? Nothing. You think Fable's coming? You think Perfect Dark's coming? This is the biggest thing you were going to get. This is it, dude. Party's over. It's done. There's what's bigger than Starfield. And I'm going to tell you this. Halo Infinite had more positive news and reception from the people than Starfield did. How's that? Halo Infinite multiplayer. Halo had a better news cycle than Starfield has. Starfield's been all the bugs and glitches and refunds and all this other stuff. Halo had a more of a positive. But that's the problem. The problem is that this game wasn't even meant for Xbox. You just cared because Phil Spencer put on his little jacket. He went on to his MSNBC and did the interviews that get you all wet inside. That's it. And because Phil Spencer said this is important, you believed him because you believe everything that dope says. And that's why you care about this stuff. That's the problem. You don't care. You don't care that you were lied to about this. You don't care that you were told this, and this, and now it's all facade. You can't fly. There's load screens all over the place. The planets are not even, the space is confined. There's confined areas. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Todd said I could go anywhere, do anything, be whatever. Oh, it's the first 20 hours are boring, but then after that, it really picks up. Huh? 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 Now they need more time? Oh, Microsoft didn't think they needed more time when they gave the releases 2 weeks early and put everybody under NDAs. And then allowed people to speak about the NDA. But not tell anything about the game. Just say, hey, I'm playing the game, but I can't say anything. I'm excited about what I can't talk about. Oh, where's that from? I'm really excited about what I can't tell you I'm playing right now. What? Shut up.
Put this thing away.
Shut
this
up.
Is not worth it.
And what I don't understand is how am I wrong to ask to be shown a game that I may want to buy? What's wrong are the idiots that are online that tell you it's fine. It's fine. No, I saw enough. Dude, shut up. You're not even buying the goddamn game. You're not even playing it. Goddamn clown. This game is not even meant for Xbox. This is a PC game. And even those people are pissed off. Using Steam refunds. Yeah. Let's ignore the 7s, though. But say these are fine. 70 hours, dude. 70 hours. There'll be 20 hours. The first 10s are a slog. It's 20. Oh, so the 7s didn't play enough, but the 10s, they played just enough. They played just enough. Yeah, we don't talk about the 10s from all Xbox the Ocho, Xbox Mondo, Xbox Generation. We're not talking about those. But they're good. It's the 7s that we got to go attack. It's the 7s. Those are the ones that didn't review the game enough, didn't give it enough time. But Xbox the Ocho did. Xbox Generation gave it plenty of time. Stevia, 2 creams, 1 sugar, gave it plenty of time. But the 7s, they didn't give it enough time. Anybody asking how long Xbox Addict played the game? Because they got the marketing line right here. Bethesda not only crafted a new, compelling, wondrous universe to explore. Excuse me? The exploration's the biggest lie of them all. What are you talking about? But there's the marketing line. The line that gets everybody, Xbox fans, back in line. They created one of the most important games of this generation. What? Who? What? What? No. You idiot Xbox addict. I'm going to tell you something. The most important game of this generation was fucking Halo. That was the most important game. Because that was the origin of Xbox. And if you care so much about Xbox, Halo needed to represent. Halo needed to be that thing that brought people back. That was the comeback. And that fell flat on its face. Not Starfield. Starfield's not bringing Xbox back. Starfield's not even associated with Xbox. It's a PC game that happens to have Phil Spencer marketing behind it. Yo, what's up, Frog? How you doing, man?
My bad. I'm sorry I'm late.
No, man, that's all right. I've been showing all the lies in the bull, like, how the game was shown in all piecemeal, hit all the load screens. And you want to know what? I got the actual video right here. Let's go. I'm going to go to the tape, Frog. And but actually, wait a second. Before I go to the tapes, you have been playing Starfield.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Playing Starfield.
Is it the era? Let me read some of these quotes.
No, go ahead.
I'll tell you. Let's see here. The scale, the freedom, and the possibilities in the game are almost unprecedented. It's hard enough to excel in any of these components, let alone do it all well and combine it into one rock solid game. The best Xbox game in years. Says, I don't know what the hell that is. Starfield is a great game from Bethesda. It displays a lot of attention to detail in its main and secondary missions, not to mention the open world sections with an entire galaxy to see, offering hours and hours of content to a completionist. Frog.
So I can give you my honest opinion. Let me see.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you. Because I'm playing it right now, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how many hours I've been playing it. Because I maybe somebody might look at my hours and say that's not enough time to know to really give an opinion. I do believe if you're in there like 5-10 hours, I think you've played enough to really give a really valid opinion of what you feel about the I don't think you stick with something that that long. You're like, yeah, this is trash. I hate it. Starfield. I have 15 hours in the game. I'm a level 13. And what I'll say about the game is there's some things I don't like clearly about the game. There's a lot of cons, but there's some pros. I think there is some back and forth banter that on both parts, on the Xbox side and the PlayStation side doesn't need to be had. Here's what I'll say. Is this game a good game from Bethesda, not Xbox? We're going to speak about Bethesda, from Bethesda. I think for what Bethesda has given us, it's a decent game, right? It's a good game. I hate the narrative Xbox game because this game was in development way before they were even thinking about buying Bethesda. So
Oh yeah.
I think that the side of the Xbox guys that are fanboying, saying, "Hey, we won." Yes, this is a win for Xbox. This is a win for Bethesda. This is a good game. If now here's a caveat. If you like the Fallout series, if you like the Elder Scrolls series, if you're into those type of RPGs, this game is good. Most people, and I want so bad to say this one name because it just drives me so bad. Oh, it drives me so crazy. There's so many people, and there's one person I'm thinking about in particular that hates anything Bethesda does. They didn't care about, but they love the fact that, and this is what I see. There are people out who love the fact that Xbox bought Bethesda. So now they're all about the win because they're associated with Xbox. And so my honest feeling is like this is a good Bethesda game. There are bugs in it, but not like bugs I've seen when I first started playing Fallout 4 or Skyrim. The 30 frames seems to hold up, right? This is a very detailed game. It is a very detailed game. The side missions are really good from what I'm playing. I'm really enjoying the side mission. Right now, I'm on a whole mission where I am in a Freestar Collective, becoming a space ranger for the Freestar Collective. I'm enjoying this mission. This mission really good storytelling.
So what do you do?
So basically,
because I hear people say I enjoy the game, but nobody's telling me what they actually do.
So-
Are you going to kill
so-
people? Are you delivering fruits?
So there's different parts to this. So
Are you flying
the
across
main
planets, like different planets?
I'm gonna. This is here's some of the negatives because like there's like I said I can see why this game should be like probably an 8. This is and right now I could get why somebody would say between a 7 or 8. I totally think 7 or 8 is justifiable, right?
Why?
And I've only put 15 hours, but I get it, right?
But
So
why?
I'm gonna tell you the main story mission. It's just a collectathon. I stopped playing the main story because it's just go here, get this, maybe kill something, maybe not. Go turn this piece in. Go here, get the same exact item. I don't want to spoil the story. Go get the same exact item from this place. Do a little bit of dialogue, talk a little bit, bring it back to this same place.
When you go
It's
get
just
it,
back-
is there combat boss fights? Is there?
for the main story mission, yes, here and there. Now, this is
There's
why I
more-
say
there's different, or there's just space pirates, or there's actual
Yes.
alien monsters.
Yes, and this is why I say that I see where if you're just playing the main story, you're playing this game wrong, and that's sad to say.
That's not
and,
good
and,
news.
and that's not good news, right? Because the main story seems to me so far like a lot of fetch quest stuff. Like you're getting the same object, and you're just finding out about the same object, why this object did this to you when you touched it, blah blah blah. But it seemed like I'm just going to a place, teleporting. Let me phrase teleporting to a place because that's all I've been doing. So that does kind of take me out a little bit.
Teleporting and loading screens, like it's so
Right, it's a lot of screens. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jez.
Yeah.
As a guy who loves freaking Skyrim and Fallout games, this is a sci-fi, in a sense, space Fallout game. That's all this is. If you like that kind of stuff, you're gonna love it. So, coming off of Fallout 76,
but
hell
Fallout,
yeah.
when you did Fallout 76, Jesus.
No. But see, I'm taking it from the perspective of their last game. Fallout 76 is a disaster.
You can't
to
go.
me,
That
right?
thing was a disaster.
Right.
But like,
But if I
Fallout, though,
if I compare this to Fallout 4, right? If I compare this to Fallout 4, I would say I would have rather them just, and I'm gonna be. This is how I feel about this game. I would have rather them do a sci-fi game in a different way, where you're not flipping around the planets, where you're on a planet,
Are the missions like a Witcher
or solar system?
Are the missions like? Are they depth? Are they in depth? Are there twists? Are there turns?
Yeah.
Are they like go there? This person's supposed to be there. They're dead, and there's like dead something else there. Like there's things.
Yeah.
like that.
So yes, there are missions like that. The mission I'm doing
But
now.
do you feel
yes.
like you're just fetch questioning for a bunch of people that are sitting around a table, or do you feel like these people really need your help? Like in Fallout, when you find somebody and you do a mission, like you feel like, you know, there's things that need to be done. There's like a story, there's a lore to it that gets you invested in doing that mission.
So yes. So there's a yes and a no, right? The yes is, like I said, I'm trying to become the space ranger, right? I'm trying to get my ranger badge, and I got to one of the missions. Like I
So
said,
it's like the Boy Scouts.
It's no. You're like going on mission to your first mission to be deputized is you're going to this planet to figure out why this lady is complaining about her farmland. Somebody's trying to steal her farmland.
Oh shit! You're delivering kumquats.
Hold on. So the story starts there, right? And then the story gets deeper and deeper.
Tomato seeds.
The story gets really deep in just that quest level. But this is a whole side mission, and I feel like this side mission is better than the main story mission I've been playing so far.
It said they say that the voice acting is atrocious. Do you feel like these people are robots and who cares? They don't have no emotion.
Easy answer. If you play Fallout 4, it's the same thing.
No, I don't want to. Frog, he said 25 years in the making. They have the technology now to make the game. I don't know. What do you mean it's like Fallout?
This is the hard truth.
I don't want the Fallout game 2011.
If you play this game, the animations to me are very similar to what I saw in Fallout 4 or Skyrim.
Jesus.
They're standing there because when you talk to a person, they'll stand there and they freeze and the whole environment freezes and you're talking to that person.
Yeah, but the voice acting and the face animations and all that don't engage.
Yeah,
like
we're not gonna get Horizon Forbidden West, Zero Dawn face animations and voice acting. You're not getting this level. What you got is the Creation Engine 2. You got this is Fallout 4 on steroids. That's what this game is. It's Fallout 4. They should have just called this game They should have just called this game Fallout 5.
So it's like a Fallout mod, basically.
It's a Fallout game in outer space. That's why I said they should have just called this. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jez. I think they really could have capitalized off of having just one solar or two solar systems, not 1,000 freaking planets and different solar systems.
Well, they're all just randomly generated. It doesn't matter.
But Jez, if they just had one or two solar systems, that's it. One or two, I think it'd have been perfectly fine. Because I've landed on planets, I'm like, there's nothing here. And I'm like, why am I here? And it's resources, right? But you're not really using that resource and that ability until really, like, from what I've seen from the people I've talked to, till end game, until after the game, base build and all this stuff. So to me, in a lot of ways, and a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this on the Xbox side, this is Fallout 4 on steroids, or basically Fallout 5. It's not a bad game. On the flip side, if we're calling this game of the generation, nah, it's not that. If we're saying best Xbox game since yada yada, probably, right? Even though they technically, it's, you know, they were making this before. If we're saying just the best right now, yeah, it probably is the best thing. I mean, so I will say, like, there's a side to everything. Like 7, if somebody said they think it's a 7, I can see why. If somebody said this is an 8, I can see why. This game is not a 9. This game is not a 10. This game is between a 7 and an 8. It's right in that 7 and 8 territory. And I would say, from the main story aspect, I totally can get why you could say this game is a 7, because it's a lot of fetch quests. You do have some interesting things that you can do on here. Like I did another side mission called The Run. That mission was so freaking amazing. Like, you had to do. You remember the Hunger Games, Jez? The Hunger Games?
Yes.
So you go on this planet and you land. There's this big freaking crater in the planet. And you have to do this thing called The Run, where you have to run from the terminal where you're at. It's a nightclub. And they're betting on you making it there. Kind of like
so
freaking,
it's a race.
What the movie we always talk about with Arnold? When he's running. Running Man, yes, they're betting on you. And they bet on you. You have to run all the way out there, get on the battlefield, and there's a lot of aliens. There's like things that can kill you, bombs, whatever. You got to hit the button, and then you got to run back. You have to make it, and you get rewards for this stuff. So, like, they have stuff that's really unique in the game, but I think this game, the biggest problem I think with this game, from like 15 hours I put in it, there's so much stuff to do. It's all over the place. You're really not going to focus. And I think this is what makes Bethesda RPGs like Fallout and Elder Scrolls, that kind of stuff. You're not supposed to play this game just storyline, beeline, and play the story. You're supposed to do side quests. You're just supposed to explore. My biggest gripe is the ship battles, right? I've gotten into a lot of ship battles, and I was like, damn, how do I freaking take these ships over? And you don't realize that your ship battles are really tied into your skill tree, right? And you have to get certain skill things in your tech thing to actually take parts of the ships out to actually slow them down, to board them. The game doesn't tell you this. You have to figure this stuff out. So I'm sitting in, and finally I have to freaking get the targeting control system to target the ships. Then I have to take out the ship's engines to make it stop, and it has to be weak enough to where I can dock the ship, board the ship, get on there, kill all the space pirates, and take the ship over, and it becomes mine. The game really doesn't tell you that because it's so embedded into the
So what
lore.
happens to your ship?
You still keep it. You have another ship.
So you just jump in that ship and just fly away, and what about your ship? You teleport to the beast?
So now how you have a crew? Your crew, you have to really meticulously to put on who you need in your crew.
So how many loading screens are there from when you take the plane and you take over another one?
That's negative, right? So you shoot the plane, bam, you're like, damn, I got a spaceship. It says you have to hold X to dock. You dock, that's a loading screen. You enter the bay, you kill everybody, you take the ship over. After you take the ship over, it lets you know that's a loading screen. Then you have to go back to your ship. You have to undock. You physically have to undock. That's another loading screen. There's a lot of loading screens in the game. There's a lot of loading screens. Anybody who plays Fallout, anybody who plays Skyrim, you're used to it. It's basically the same game, just set in a sci-fi world. I'm totally. Nobody should be mad about that, and especially you should not.
They didn't show
no.
that.
I'm gonna tell you why you should be mad about that. Nobody should be mad about that, especially if you didn't like their games in the past, and now all of a sudden you're just a big fan of them. Like I've seen somebody, I hated their Skyrim games, I hated their Oblivion, I hated freaking all their Fallout games, but for some reason they made me a fan with this game. Bullshit. You're just saying that because you're champion for Xbox. Then I hate people like that. Those are the guys that I'm calling them out. I'm like, you're not. Don't try to be this guy that say, nah, I'm all high and mighty because I love RPGs. When you got people like me who said, look, this should have been a multi-plat. This should have came across the board. It should have came everywhere. And then when I say that, your response is, yeah, if it was a multi-plat, it would have scored the nines because it would have been on PlayStation. Bullshit. This game would have got the same scores. Let's not. This game is what it is. Whether it was on PlayStation, whether it was on Xbox, what it is what it is. There's nobody sitting here giving her a 7 just because it's on Xbox. This is a Bethesda RPG through and through, just like a Fallout 4 game, just like a friggin' Skyrim game. It's the one thing I'll say is it looks better than a Fallout 4. It looks better than Skyrim. Because technology has been came, so it does look better. It's very detailed, but there's some bullshit in there that you can't ignore. Like when I jumped in the water and I'm swimming, and I got a whole spacesuit on. I'm like, why is this a thing? Why can't I see my legs first person? Like the stupid shit like that. There's some stupid, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I can nitpick at, right? But if I just go off of what Bethesda has produced from their RPG line. It's what lines up with Skyrim. It's what lines up with Fallout. I can see why people who are fans of these series, not guys who just become adoptive to this game because it's on Xbox. I can see people like me who are fans of these series who like this game, and they say, damn, I do like Fallout. I do like Elder Scrolls. I do like this game. Not these guys getting freaking yellow chairs and talking about this is the game of the year, possibly the game. No, you're fake neutral. You're fake ass neutral. Because just after you talk about freaking Starfield, the next couple of days you get a Spider-Man freaking PlayStation 5 and you're freaking talking about, look what Sony sent me. You're a fake ass neutral. You didn't like Bethesda games. You don't play them. There's a lot of these, and this is why it goes to that fanboy bullshit. A lot of these guys who play on Xbox who are freaking cheering and championing like Bethesda games, and they need to shut up. They're making it bad for the whole Xbox community. You guys need to shut up. You guys had said, hey, I'd never liked Bethesda, don't like their games. Don't all of a sudden say, no, I'm a fan of this because Microsoft owns them. Stop being that guy. Stop doing it for clicks. I can't stand that shit. And that's the biggest problem. I think that's where we're getting a lot in the communities with, IGN freaking people having conversations back and forth. You have a lot of these guys who are so-called fake neutrals or Xbox fanboys who are trying to make this a game that it really isn't. It's Fallout. It's Skyrim. It's nothing more. It's nothing less. It's Fallout. It's Skyrim. They do some clever things in there that we use in game. Like Jez, they did some clever things in this game we haven't seen in a while, right? But guess what? We've seen it in games like the prime example. I went to a place. There's a big door, and I didn't know how to get through it. But sure enough, when I really paid attention to the door, my wife's like, "Hey, it says cut there." So I took my torch out. I cut right at the bolt, and it cut all 4 of the bolts off, and the door dropped in. I said, "Hey, that's clever, but that's nothing. That's nothing that I've never seen in a video game before.
Yeah.
We've seen this in freaking games from the past, blowing up walls, Red Faction." So my whole thing is, it was clever, but it's something we've seen. It's not totally brand new. So when you're talking about, look what they're doing with the tech, I'm like, dude, this is something we've seen before. Just you obviously don't play their games. Like, we've seen this before. So those guys who don't play their games, never been fans of them, but now they're championing and cheering them on, talking, oh, it shouldn't be a 7, it should be this. You guys got to shut up. You guys didn't even play their freaking games. You guys didn't even own the original. So I don't want to hear anything from these guys who are new found fanboys of this game or fanboys of said, genre. I just don't get it, because it is what it is. It probably is, and by the time like I said, 15 hours in, I stopped playing the main story. I was like, this main story is fetch quest, fetch quest, fetch quest. When I started doing the side quests, that's when I really started enjoying the game. I was like, yo, these side quests are amazing. I was like, why is nobody talking about this in the reviews? Like, the side quests are where it's at. Everybody went in with this expectation of this game being a No Man's Sky. It's not a No Man's Sky. It's not a Star Citizen. This game is Fallout in outer space.
So
that's what it is. It's a
they're
sci-fi
one
Fallout in
trick
outer
pony.
space.
They did the same thing, and they just made it
Yeah.
in space.
And it's not a bad. And Jez, it's not a bad game. It's just that we don't overblow it as something it's not. If you like Fallout, yeah, and I totally agree. A lot of things that they said that they didn't convey well, like you're not going to be able to directly fly off a planet, and there's a lot of load screens. Dude, I never fly off a planet. You know what I do, Jez? I teleport to my next mission where I have to go. I land on the planet because you have no choice. It's a load screen. I land on it and I do that. That does, in a sense, take me out of the immersion, because I'm like, damn, this is a long process.
What do you mean? You land on a planet and you teleport to your mission?
So like in a whole nother, I'll teleport to that solar system, or I'll teleport.
You could teleport from your planet to another solar system.
Yeah, I can get the mission, go on my menu, and teleport directly to the solar system or if I've been to the planet,
what?
I can tell. So if I've been to the planet, I can teleport directly to the planet. If I've never been there, you have to teleport to the solar system first, then get to the planet, scan it, then you can land at the site that you need to for the mission. So there's a lot of loading, and I do think that a lot of your hours you're.
So if you visit a planet, you could just fast travel to all the different planets?
Yes. Yeah. As long as you visit the planet, you can fast travel to it. Yes.
Oh my god.
If you've never been to the planet, you actually have to go to that solar system. You actually have to discover the planet.
They punish you with menus. So when you get to
there's
the planet,
a lot of.
You don't have to get.
You're constantly in this game. You're constantly pressing the start button. And when you get to the start button, when you get to the start button,
oh man,
you're constantly going to the star map, and you're teleporting everywhere. So don't have I want people to have the understanding.
Is that why the story is like only so even like fetch quests? The problem is like
it's a lot. It's a lot.
You're gonna fast
travel,
of
teleporting,
but really getting to the fast travel point should be an exploration, not a bunch of menus and load screens. And then
it's a lot of menus and load screens. And to some credit, I did watch. I think it was Alana Paris. She actually traveled all the way to, I think it was Pluto or one of the other planets, right? Yeah. And it took her 7 hours in real time. So you can do that, but I'm not going to take 7 hours of my time.
On the planet, though.
No, you cannot. You cannot. You actually have to teleport. You can fly all the way to these planets in real time. It's going to take you 7 hours, but I'm not going to take 7 hours to fly over to a planet. I'm just going to teleport because every single time you go to something, it's a load screen. Every time you land, it's a load screen. Every time I could be on a planet and see something on the planet and want to get there to that planet, and you're a load screen. You know, everything's a load screen. You remember, Jez? You remember Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1 when you open a door and it's a black door and it's like creaking, and you get through there and then you see the next room. Any door you go into like that.
No.
Yeah, you see it goes to a black screen, it comes back, and then you're in every door. Yeah, it's a load screen. You can't most of the time, 9 times out of 10, unless it's a baked-in area. When you're going into the next area, completely different area, it's gonna load. If you're in a baked-in area, you can just open doors and walk into there, and the room is there, right? But if it's a mission where you're like, damn, I know you know it's a boss door because you go through it and you're like, oh, I'm loading, it's a boss door. You already know it. So if you can be in an area, and as long as that area is one, think of it as a cube. As long as that area is in that cube, you can go everywhere without load screens. As soon as you enter the next cube, it's a load screen. So, like I said, this game has a lot of pros, a lot of cons.
I understand, Josh. Like that's what Fallout and Skyrim did, but how is that acceptable in 2023?
And
with
Jez,
SSDs and next gen only at $70.
That's the point I want to get to.
How?
People are calling us the next gen experience.
It just like Fallout doesn't make it acceptable now. Fallout was 2011.
I totally agree with you, Jez. The reason people are saying it's the next gen experience is just because the consoles it's on. Like this game, obviously, I'm gonna be honest with you. This game obviously could not run on a PS4 or Xbox One. It could not run on those systems. It could not run. There's a lot of loading. These consoles that we have now, they're lucky to be even running this game somewhat at 30 frames. I do think that the Series X, as that's where I'm playing it, I do think the Series X could run it unlocked and you can get 60. I think the reason they stick to 30 is because some of the main towns you go to, I've had some I'm talking about into the teens, like 15, 12 frame drops. Like I entered a freaking club and my frames went from 30 and they dropped down to like 18, 17 real quick. I felt it. Jeez. It was just like stuttering, and then it picked back up. So I do think the big thing about this game, and a lot of people, that's another thing people aren't talking about. Bethesda games aren't well optimized. This is not a well optimized game. You can tell it's not well optimized.
How is it a 10? How is it a
9? when you're talking to somebody and their freaking the background is glitching and bugging out, this game is not optimized. Bethesda is not known for optimized games. This creation engine, I've said this when Fallout 4 came out, they need to go to Unreal Engine or something different. Their engine is shit. But people who've gotten used to their type of gameplay engine, I went to this game just saying, damn, it's gonna be a Fallout in outer space. So I'm not disappointed. It's Fallout in outer space. Jeez. So to me, it's sci-fi Fallout. I honestly think they should have just called this Fallout freaking 5, an interdimension. Fallout 5 interdimension, and had one solar system, and you just go around to those solar systems.
Fallout 5 interdimension.
And I'm saying because I think that what they're doing is on such a big scale, they can't do it like so many others before them. Like, yeah, we say randomly generated stuff and yada, yada, yada. Yes, it's randomly generated. To me, I don't see it because I'm landing on every planet I land on is unique to me, but the videos I've seen of some planets that other people have landed on, a lot of stuff is different. So are they like
emergent combat and stuff when you land on a mission and you land on a planet? Yeah, is there like a whole bunch of stuff going on?
Yeah, so I landed at a prison and the prison.
No, but that's a part of a mission. What about just exploring?
Oh yeah. Oh, so if I'm going, yeah. So you can just land at a planet and you may just land at the wrong planet and shit's going on and shit's going down. You might jump off and there might be a fight. And you're just in the fight. I've had that happen to me before.
Really?
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before. So, like I said, these are things you have to search for. You cannot play the main storyline and expect this shit to be there.
People saying you got to finish the storyline because that's how things open up.
Okay, 15 hours in.
You can't even base build or anything until after you finish the campaign.
Yes, 15 hours in. I haven't even attempted to try to even think about base building because it's so.
I don't think you can.
What I'm saying is, just the ship building, it's so freaking, it's hard to wrap your head around just even building a ship. It's very, very, oh man, it's so much. It's so much just to build a ship that I'm like, yo, I just want to
But
do
is
missions
it like
until
what
I
are
get to that
people
point.
saying about the last question I'm gonna say? Then I gotta read JX super
Mhm.
chat. But like, what are people saying about how slow it is? Why is it slow? Because it's all fetch quest. You're doing the main mission.
It's a lot of fetch quests. That's why the game is so slow. So I really honestly think that if you weren't traveling around to these different places and weren't loading screens, what do they say, 15 hours this game, 15, 20 hours.
Yeah.
I think really it's probably like a 12-hour game if you didn't have all this other stuff.
So you
like
think
just
it's
the
built
main,
for end game stuff? Like it's built.
yeah,
more
it's
for,
built.
like,
It's built. It's definitely built for in-game stuff. Like I said, I've attempted to start building a ship, and that shit was so confusing. I was like, man,
Well,
fuck this.
your
And I
first
went,
ship has to be shaped of a penis. That's what you gotta drive.
no, Phil Spitz is freaking.
And
Never
then he'd
mind.
be poking everybody in the galaxy. Plus, let me get a JX Gaming. Let me get a super chat here. He says you don't even see any gameplay from the Kappas like Dolt Eastwood and Crappy Gamer. Oh yeah, well him.
Hey, I've been streaming it.
Yeah, Frogz.
I've been streaming it.
Frogz been streaming
And
it.
yeah, I've been streaming it, and I haven't been talking.
Oh, so was this just a way to hype up L-Box? How pathetic. They don't even care about Starfield or Bethesda for that matter. And yeah, JX, that's exactly what Frog is saying. Like,
yeah,
the people,
it is.
and I was saying that too. Like, this all became an Xbox thing because of the fiasco of buying Bethesda, that whole theater of Phil Spencer buying time and 2 years of acquiring $7 billion to buy Bethesda.
Yep.
That's the reason why people who never even really cared are caring, and they think that you could just buy your way to success, and that's not it, because and this needs to be sustained. So, you know, we really need to see like where this is coming from. But like Frog said, like this was in development way before Phil put his dirty money on that thing. So like, you know, really the thing is like we need to see consistency. Is this something that it was a decent game that they got? Yeah, anything better than Fallout 76, anything better than Redfall, right? Like, but it's like how low do you need in order to say it's decent? And I think that's the thing. Like, I think this is a good game for Bethesda, but this is not going to do for Microsoft. This
doesn't move the needle. Yes.
This is not your Halo moment. This is not Halo and Xbox. I mean, OG Halo. This is not the moment. That's what people wanted this game to be, and it's not.
Totally agree.
And I'm going to tell you this: the other issue is because of the facade and them hiding all this stuff. The narrative of this game has been more of what they were hiding and all the things that are not there. And the problem is that this game wasn't. This game needed to be, according to the people that really cared about Xbox, this needed to be a slam dunk. This needed to be a 95 must play. Go do it. You like what Elden Ring was.
This is an Ocarina of Time. It should have been Ocarina of Time moment. Yeah. And it's not that. It's not that.
Elden Ring even was like, hey,
it's not
you
Elden
gotta
Ring.
play
No.
this. You know, all this stuff where this was a must play. Stop everything that you're doing. No capping for any console. You must play this game. And Starfield is not that.
This is
okay. If you like Bethesda games, you will enjoy this game. Goodbye.
Yes,
and that's not what this needed to be. This needed to break barriers.
If you are a fan of Bethesda RPGs, this is a game for you. This is what this game is.
But this needed to break barriers.
That's all it is. That's all it is. If you are a fan of the Fallout type of games and the Elder Scroll type of games, this game is for you. Buy it. I definitely say it is worth the money. Buy it, play it.
That's not what it needed to be.
But if you think that this is leagues and miles above and beyond that, you're sadly mistaken.
No.
This is a good Bethesda RPG. This game technically should have been, instead of getting Fallout 4, this is what we should have got. Right after Fallout 4, we should have got this and not Fallout 76. They should have went right to this game and released this game. And this game would have, and I honestly think, I think the biggest problem with this game is it's going to be something that is talked about in a small space, and we're not going to hear about it anymore. It should have been a multi-plat. I still do think, and this is my opinion, I still do think that it may, at some point, maybe a year from now, come to multiple systems, PlayStation included. And the reason I think that is because I think this game is going to have legs in the space of streamers, because I've seen people making all kinds of crazy ships.
Oh, well, I got it.
Just,
here we go. I got some.
Yeah. I've seen some and that's why I think this game
are gonna
has
save
legs.
the game, everybody. I got it right here.
The mods, yes.
The
I mean,
mods-
people like look. You've already talked about balls. I've already seen the dick and ball ship that people have made.
No, I got it right here. This is right here. We got it. Breaking. This is how the mods are gonna save the game right here.
Yep.
There it is.
I can while you get into that, I can tell you something, Jazz.
Do you see the flashlight of Phil Spencer?
I can tell you one thing that's absolutely really good about this
Wait,
game.
I gotta do it again. Wait, bro. I'm showing the mod right here. Wait, hold on one more.
What? What's really going on? Wow. Wow. Wow.
The mods will save the game. They made the Phil Spencer fleshlight. I'm gonna call the the Phil Spencer fleshlight. Oh shit! Oh,
you stupid.
Oh man, that's the first mod.
Where's the
I will say
Phil Spencer fleshlight. Oh no!
I will say this,
Sell that at
Jess.
FanFest next year.
I will say this, Jazz. Wait, is it still going?
No.
Oh, so
I got
want to say
Digital Foundry up next for the clown show.
So I will say this, right? And these are two really positive things I'll say about this. I think that this is the best gun. I think it's the best gun or sword play we've seen in the Bethesda game to this date. Like the gunplay is to this date. Like the gunplay is good. It's good. It's better. Like like when we see those streams and it was like, damn, this looks bad. No, the gunplay is actually really good. Right? It's good. It feels like a really good, competent shooter. Right? The other thing that I will give them props for is the soundtrack is really amazing. The soundtrack is really good, the soundtrack is really amazing. But that doesn't take away the fact that I'm landing on planets and it's all load screens. And then, like I say, anybody who says that doesn't take them out the element, you've obviously, I don't know if you played Bethesda games before. This their norm. This is nothing new.
I know, but like that's the problem. There's supposed to be something new.
Right.
I also have a
this is
breaking
nothing
video,
new.
Frog. I don't know if you saw the breaking video of FanFest of the Crackdown 3. The Crackdown 3 FanFest. They really hyped up Crackdown 3. They got Terry Crews in that house right now. I got this exclusive video. Granted, I need to hit you the like button. We had just about 300 and something people here. You got to know, I get these exclusive videos here. This is sent to me from somebody at FanFest when they were hyping up Crackdown 3. This was what they had. Ready? Everybody, you ready? Here we go.
Here we go.
Terry Crews breaking it down. Crackdown 3 in the house. Terry Crews, Crackdown 3, FanFest. FanFest is wild, dude. It's wild. Woo! Terry, FanFest ain't no joke. I told you. They do tattoos. Crackdown 3 was all the hype back then, man. I got the exclusive video. Sent Terry Light. Oh,
where's the lamb sauce?
So that was an exclusive inside. But you know what? While we're on the topic of hiding stuff, Greg, you like that? You like the exclusive videos? I get the exclusive tapes here. Terry Light. So, Let's hear Digital Foundry's take, because they seem to be called Capping Foundry. They seem to be, with a capital C, a 3C actually in the chat, please. The 3 C's in the chat. Listen to these guys. This segment from Digital Foundry, I'm just going to let it play. You can tell by Dax Yeager's face that this is not going to go good. Let's listen to what's happening. Hear this.
Advertising in terms of like the advertising wasn't showing like you walking into an area and loading.
There it is, the advertising.
Radiant AI when you walk in a building that requires a loading screen from the people that were outside for that building, for example. I think that's actually, yes, it is less immersive, and I think it may clash with a little bit of the advertising in terms of like the advertising wasn't showing like you walking into an area and loading screens occurring. That's not what advertising really does. Right?
Yeah, I was going to say, to be clear, it's not like they didn't. It's not like they lied about it. It's more
no,
like
they didn't.
They withheld information.
It was like an omission. It was like an omission, and I think a lot of people, you just run with your imagination because they're saying like, these are the worlds and all these places where you go. So people just imagine these Star Citizen, No Man's Sky like exploration elements, but then it's segmented. But I think in the end that's actually probably a good thing for performance, as weird as it sounds, and that's the one thing that seems to be one of the more positive notes of all this is the Xbox performance that was covered by Oliver specifically, and what you've been experiencing, John. It's a lot better than what you've seen of BGS games here, right, on console.
Yeah, I mean that.
So withholding that information and not showing gameplay, that's a good thing, I'm assuming. When they guess consumers, imagine you buy something, Frog. I'm going to sell you something, but I'm gonna build you this beautiful. I'm gonna you could buy a house. I'm gonna build this nice little house here, right? However, I'm gonna show you the house. But I'm going to use the cheapest material in the walls, maybe some like rubber nails or something like that. But, I showed you the house, though. Like the house is I talked to you about this house, but I built it with trash. And I withheld the information that I built it with horrible stuff. Like, the thing is like, how is that okay? As reviewers, it's fine. You didn't buy the game. But as a consumer, how is that okay? As somebody who has to go spend $70 on this game, them withholding all that load screens because they could have just showed the game. Hell, Final Fantasy was counting the seconds between going to load screens. And what's crazy is that Digital Foundry was SSDs and what they're going to do and all this other stuff. Nobody seems, they were crawling up Jim Ryan's ass about goddamn Ratchet and Clank and the SSD. They were counting motherfucking frames with the guy going through the portals and saying the SSD is a lie. They were crawling up Jim Ryan's ass. But the SSD in the next gen Xbox with 20 billion loading screens, nobody's questioning about, what about this next gen? Why is this a next-gen game with thousands of loading screens? Where's the SSD? Nah. Nobody has anything to say about SSDs now when we're seeing 20 goddamn loading screens. I said this on my last show. They were critiquing God of War shimmying through walls because of the loading screens. He's shimmying, they're loading in the next area. They were criticizing God of War for shimmying. This shit goes straight to black when the guy opens up a door. But all those clowns, PC dudes included, counting frames and saying how the SSD's a lie. Where's the lies with this? Oh, they're just hiding it. You really kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why is this a next-gen game? It looks like ass. The character models look like shit. They may be some nice static environments, but again, the exploration is limited to the area that you're in. Everything's a click and loading screen. Frog just broke news that you could fast travel to planets. The whole thing is exploring and you're clicking on menus. People complained about elevators in Mass Effect. Elevator load screens. And they took those away in the same generation. How are we sitting here in 23, a game with 25 years in the making, next gen only, $7 billion later, and the second game of $70 from Microsoft? And it's riddled with loading screens and false areas of exploration, facades of planets, when an indie game from 2016 lets you fly all over the goddamn place, in and out of atmospheres, flying around the planet from day one, and online nonetheless. Teleporting planets, a dude online could be on another planet. Tell me why this is a next-gen game when a game from 2016 was doing it on the base PS4. And don't tell me it's an indie, because that is even more of an insult to Todd Howard and his rockstar team of goddamn developers over there. Because from what I remember, No Man's Sky was lambasted because the promises that weren't there on day one. Meanwhile, we find out on day one, Starfield, all the promises there were lies. And it's okay because it's Bethesda, and that's what they do. Cyberpunk the same way. Lies.
I think Cyberpunk released in a very bad state, but I think Cyberpunk's story so far trounces what I'm playing story wise. Main story wise, like I said,
it's an RPG. Like it should
it's
be
an
an
RPG
epic story. What do you mean it's all?
Yeah, the main story. I'm not really. It's just like it's not pulled me in. What's pulled me in is the side quest and just the other stuff I'm doing, not the main story. So I think if we're just talking about the core main story, that's not what
That don't
pulls you
sound
into.
exciting for for an RPG game. Like the story should be the thing that pulls you in.
Yeah, the main story is not gonna. I'm interested, but after I did like 5 or 6 missions, I'm like, damn, man, this is all fetch quests. Go here, get this piece, bring it back here. Go here, get it, and then everything is like a mystery. Like I'm excited to tell you, but about what I can't really tell you. Like if you guys if you guys want to check my streams out, I play it. I don't talk. I'm on. Yeah, check out my streams on Twitch. It's frogz Dream. I just go through there, and you can see that I'm not lying.
Robert
like
Lawrence
everything.
says, play the main story, it gets better.
Yeah, and like I said, maybe better, but so far, I'm like, damn. Like I just keep going back and forth, back and forth.
All right, Digital Foundry continues with their capping. So hear this part. They explain why there are load screens when boarding the plane. Hear this. Hear this. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this is coming from a place that a website that marvels in technology of games, coming up with these kind of excuses. And I guess that Phil Spencer and Todd Howard visit must have had some big influence on them. Here it is.
That's for sure. This is the first BGS game that's launched on a console that actually runs at a stable frame rate almost all the time. It's actually feels optimized and polished. I mean, yeah, it's 30 frames per second. We knew that, but it's steady. None of their prior releases were ever steady, especially at launch. I mean, we remember the Corvega factory in Fallout 4 that became like Tom's testing ground for that game. He revisited that place so often, and it was always like, I think early on it was into the teens.
Oh, so just like because they sucked before, 30 frames is good for them now. That's acceptable because all their games weren't stable before. How is this God tier game of the generation? If this was the Bethesda's reputation of having games that didn't work, who the hell thought that this game was going to come out and be a game of the generation? Like, this is what I don't understand. All of a sudden now, the humbleness, the reality of what Bethesda really is now the excuse why Starfield's acceptable. But leading up to Starfield, it was generational game. This is going to put Xbox back on the map. This is what it needs to be. 9s and nothing less. Where was all that? Well, Bethesda sucked before. They might suck again. But now, we're doing half measures here. Oh, because they didn't have anything stable before, the fact that they're hitting 30, we're good now. We're good. Okay. Wait, there's more.
Oh yeah,
it was pretty bad. Like those games didn't run well. Starfield is consistent in comparison.
No.
But I think
Well,
go ahead.
Sorry, going back to the loading issue, the thing that stood out to me, which was a bit disconcerting when I first played it, was when you enter the spaceship and you climb up the ladder to go to the cockpit, and there's a loading bit there.
That's confusing.
And then you get to the cockpit and you're looking out at the open world that you've just exited.
So I
which
I had a good think about this, Richard, and I think
So that's unacceptable. Hear the story of why he thinks this happening. And tell me if this is even makes sense.
I think this might actually have more to do with your crew than with actually loading data, right? Because you're right, the world is still visible from within your ship, right? So you think, oh, why can't you just seamlessly transition? Well, you take crew with you on missions, right? And then there's also the crew that stays on.
Whatever your name is,
So they would
get
either
ready
have
for the
to-
big surprise.
Welcome, Muba Piranha. First off, he says it's the crew. Thank you for subscribing. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Grinders, hit that like button, because I'm going to go back. He says it's because of the crew. Let's go see the example that they give before he talks about it again, because I need to see.
Let's see. Into the teens.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Like, those games didn't run well. None of their prizes. You're right. The world is still visible from within. Didn't run well.
To go to.
Let's see. He says it's the crew, right? It's the crew. Wait, Nick. I'm a humdinger right here. Here it is. He says it's the crew. Everybody, please use your eyeballs, because those are our sources. Tell me how many crew members are on the screen when he opens up the door, because I need to know, because it's loading in the crew. The crew's coming with them. The only crew is the C of the captain for the shit. Open up the door. Tell me how many crew members are in the ship that it's loading, okay, Grinders? Tell me. How many crew members do you see?
Cockpit, and there's a loading.
Let's count them.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. How many crew members did they load in? Fucking 0! That's exactly how many crew members are in the fucking thing. Like, it's loading the crew members in. The crew. There's a crew.
It's pretty funny.
It's loading in the crew.
You're my #1 customer.
They have Phil Spencer there. Phil Spencer's in the crew. Where is he? It's loading in the crew. There's the reason why the loading screen happened. In your own goddamn video, you're giving excuses for it loading in the crew, and it shows a loading screen and no crew. Let's see. He walks the whole
You
ship.
get to the cockpit and you're looking out at the open world that you've just exited.
Oh, it's a crew.
Where's the crew?
I had a good think about this, Richard.
Oh, did you? Because guess what? I could think while taking a shit and looking at that screen. I can tell you right now, I don't need to think about it. I see there's nobody there. Who are you loading?
This might actually have more to do with your crew.
It's doing with the crew. It's the crew.
Loading data, right? Because you're right, the world is still visible from within your ship, right? So you think, oh, why can't you just seamlessly transition? Well, you take crew with you on missions, right? And then there's also the crew that stays on board. So they would either have to
have them already there,
ensure that they're always active within the ship, which may be more demanding, but then they also need to find a way to get the crew following you into the ship in a way that doesn't look horribly janky. It's like if you got people following you and you're going into the ship, you climb up the ladder, then you have to watch them do bad ladder climbing animation.
What? Oh, they're protecting us from bad ladder climbing animations? Frog, do you hear this?
Oh, so I was going to say, oh my God, Jazz. Bro.
They're protecting us.
Climbing from ladders is bad in this game.
Oh,
it's bad.
Shit. They're protecting us from bad NPCs climbing animations.
I meant to say that. That is bad.
Wait a second. I gotta see something here. Apparently, the bad. What is this smoke? Do you hear this? A
it's
website
bad.
that is a technical analyst zooming in 300% with monocles, talking about crew loading in their own screen. There's no crew, and that's why so if there's no crew, there should be no loading screen, right? Then telling us that because the people are following you, they don't want to have it look awkward for people walking into doing ladders, according to this thing. Listen, this visit must have done wonders. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Phil, I don't know what happened here, but there's something going down. Dude, this visit must have did wonders. Phil Spencer must have did an all-paid expense with magnets for them. You know? I don't know what happened to this visit, but there was some shit going down.
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
But I have to say, like, where is that video of I can't find it. I don't know. Let me see. I can get this. We'll let him keep going on with the capping, and then I'll read those super chats.
Or they just like warp into the ship or something like that. It would basically not look very good, is my guess. And by putting a short loading screen there, it kind of solves that, because it's like as soon as you're in the ship, everybody that should be in the ship is now in the ship with you as well. So it kind of feels like they're more sidestepping that potential issue than anything else.
Okay, that's what it is, guys. They're protecting. Wait, I need to hear it again. Let me hear. He says protecting the bad animations of the ladders.
Not look very good, is my guess. And by putting a short loading screen there, watch them do bad. So they would either have to
have them already there,
ensure that they're always active within the ship, which may be more demanding, but then they also need to find a way to
break my thing. Hold on, do my stream crap. Something crashed. Oh man, what happened?
to get the crew following you.
There we go. Something happened. Did my stream crash? Or still live? We're still live. My YouTube went bonkers there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my thing. I think it's still live, right? Yeah, it's still live. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, that video just went crazy. So, here it is. He said that he wanted to protect... I got loading screen. Hell, I got loading screens. Jesus. So they wanted to protect the NPCs from not looking like they were crawling up the animation. There it is. I'm live. Good. Because, yeah, I got some loading screens. Starfield's carrying over there. So what was that again? I need to hear.
Into the ship in a way that doesn't look horribly janky. It's like if you got people following you and you're going into the ship, you climb up the ladder, then you have to watch them do bad ladder climbing animations, or they just like warp into the ship or something like that. It would basically not look very good, is my guess. And by putting a short loading screen there, it kind of solves that, because it's like as soon as you're in the ship, everybody that should be in the ship is now in the ship with you as well. So it kind of feels like they're more sidestepping that potential issue than anything.
Oh, so that's what they're doing. So they don't want your NPCs having bad ladder animations, but they got the NPCs teleporting and just vanishing into doors. Okay. Listen. I don't understand what sauce they're drinking over there, but it doesn't taste good. It's ridiculous.
Cool. This coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Oh, good. Then it's not just me.
I don't get it. It loads in the crew. There's zero crew. They're protecting us from ladder animations from the NPCs. Meanwhile, you got NPCs teleporting into rooms like this. They're saving us from that. Listen. It's unacceptable. for 2023 and the narrative of SSDs. This is a next-gen $70 game. And I can tell you that shimmying and Ratchet and Clank weren't acceptable for a next-gen loading screens. This game is littered with loading screens. Why are you protecting it? Why? What's the excuse? Because Bethesda sucked? They gave you 15 frames per second games. Now they're giving you 30, so that's a good thing? Dude, all that stuff should have been erased. And the fact that you're giving excuses for them to be mediocre, maybe they fit right at home on Xbox and Microsoft. Because that's all they give you is mediocre shit. They take a dump in a box, say it's 100 out of a 10, it's 100 out of 100, and it's a piece of shit in a box. I don't get it. Because those people that say this stuff are the same people that could pick out the same animations that Aloy uses when she jumps off the tall neck. So obviously they're not blind. They know what the hell's going on. But they're never going to hold Xbox up to those standards because it's just okay. And that's the bullshit about it all. And Microsoft knows this. They know this. That's why they show you and they lie. That's why. They give you hugs. They do all this stuff. Phil Spencer comes out there. He goes,
Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yes! Yes! Yes!
They could just tout him out there. And you'll forget about everything. You'll forget about everything. And then they could do all the merchandising. You know, that's all they care about. Hey, give you wraps. We'll give you condoms for your Xbox. Here's some controllers. Here's the stuff.
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Open up this door. Come, walk this way. Take a look. We put the picture's name on everything. Merchandising, merchandising. Where the real money from the movie is made. Spaceballs the t-shirt. Spaceballs the coloring book. Spaceballs the lunchbox. Spaceballs the breakfast cereal. Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Helmet, what's going on? Sanders, what's going on? It's Mega Maid. She's gone from suck to blow.
What? They're getting all their air back. Do something.
Do something. Do something. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
They do. They know they could take advantage of us by just showing us the bare minimum and getting all these suckers to buy stuff. And that's what I don't like. I don't like when corporations take advantage of the consumer. And the fact that they think they could get away with just showing us the bare minimum and lying to us, with blatantly lying. Because the same people will have a podcast about Jim Lion Ryan when he talked about studios and when he talked about the generations and stuff. So they could tell a liar when they see a liar, but Phil's not a liar. And Bethesda is not a liar. This is acceptable. This is what they do. What? If this is what they do, then where was the game of the generation coming from? Where was this game needs to be a 10 out of 10? If Bethesda just did all right before. And if you believe that, then how are you not disappointed now when they're doing the same stuff they did in 2011? And how is that acceptable? It's all over the place. There's no consistency. Makes no sense because just a month ago, it was you're going to find Starfield's going to change everything. And now, all it did was made people who like Fallout turn their head and go, oh, here's a new game I could fix for Mr. Todd Howard, Uber driver extraordinaire. And now, what's crazy, this is not going to save Xbox. This needed to be a lights-out must-play game, no ifs, ands, or buts. Now it's the first 10 hours need to go. You need to wait a little. You need to wait. Don't do the missions. Do this. Oh, it's the charm. Oh, there's loading screens, but they're because they're loading in the crew. There's no crew, but that's okay. The people have weird-ass eyes. They look at you. The NPCs are ugly. The voices have no passion. They have no animations. It's the same old faces. No, this thing needed to be lights out. in order for it to turn any heads, and it's not going to do it. It's going to be big on, and I said, you're going to look at Steam numbers now? Yeah, they're going to be big because that's the people that are going to fix the game. That's it. Those are the people that are going to fix it. And the mods. They already put Phil Spencer in the game. We're good. And what's crazy is they say, what's next? Forza. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Forza is next. So is this the start? Because I heard people going, this is Xbox's chance. This is the start. This is when they come back.
I hope this is not true. This is not worth it.
And then you're seeing people getting refunds.
Yes, I would like to have a refund.
Lining up
Yes,
at
I would like to
Steam.
have a refund. Yes, I would like to have a refund.
And what's next? This is a turning over a new leaf, remember? Remember Halo was the beginning of the end for everybody. It was the beginning of the end. It was the beginning of Xbox coming back. And then what happened? The next year they released nothing. They released GOTS the next year. Nobody coming back. So stop it. You're not going to get respect unless you demand respect.
You're my #1 customer.
And until you own up and go, you know what? This is not good. You sold us a lemon. You told us about exploration, and exploration now is a facade. It's a lie. It's a bunch of menus and loading screens when a game from 2016 was doing real exploration. You set up expectations and shot them down and purposely hid them from us. You didn't show just straight up gameplay. That's why it's so essential. When they showed Spider-Man and they showed that full stretch scene of that stuff, getting the mission, doing that big set piece moment and doing it, that's what we need to see. We need to see how the game is going to flow because that's what we're paying for. That's what we play. We don't play Angela in the hallways and Milo walking around slow motion in Bethesda headquarters. We don't need those people. I don't care about those people. I'm not buying that. I'm buying the game that you're supposed to sell me. So show me the game. Show me straight up gameplay. Count the load screens. Tell us how big the areas are. Set those expectations so people don't go and say, hey, Todd, you said I could traverse. Pete, the reason why that pop-up came up, the reason why that pop-up said you hit the edge of this thing, the reason why that happened was because the day before at Gamescom, all the hotshots were there doing their interviews, and Pete Hines is like, you want to walk around the planet? Go ahead. You can. And the next day they show you can't. That's the problem. It's marketing. It's PR against the reality of the situation. And all this stuff is showing, hey, you didn't show this to us. Why didn't you? And now, what's next? What's next? They got Forza. What's next, right? And what is this thing? This is pretty crazy. So this guy, if you remember, I did one of his videos before. The Black Panther, right? And he is a huge racing fan. And he followed Forza. And if you remember his video back in the day when he went over to Microsoft, and when he went over to Microsoft, he was supposed to say a certain way. And he was supposed to do a certain thing and say it. And he didn't want to say it. And then he wasn't invited back because he didn't walk the line. And he had a video about that. Now, he's very excited about Forza. But this video is really good. And I'm going to link it into the thing because you should definitely watch it because it really just shows what's going on with Forza because this really never happened before.
Channel recently, well, you'll be getting spammed with this stuff because, in case you didn't know, they're announcing the tracks, which is really, really cool. Before launch, we're finding out the full track list, which makes sense, like they usually do a map reveal for Forza Horizon. This is the equivalent. The video you saw at the beginning has been getting a lot of attention, mostly on Twitter. I don't know why companies keep posting to Twitter. You should probably just link to YouTube to be.
But what he says is that they're using
mostly to
old
blame
car models.
is Twitter's compression here. And this Forza car model. Now, this is a constant issue. I literally just spoke about Gran Turismo and how they decided to scrap most of their cars and start over. They did this 2 generations ago, and it took them 2 generations to catch back up to not even the amount of cars they had before. It's a lot of work, and I understand it. With Forza Horizon, for a while now, they've been getting new car models. So new car models are much higher quality that's built for these generation of consoles, a higher poly counts and higher detail. The issue is they keep using old models. The S15 model, for example, it's completely wrong. Like, it's not correct at all. It's sloped in at the front. They've completely ruined it. This was from a really early game, and there's actually a really easy way to see when the car was created. This Evo is so old. So old. Take the name right here, go onto the Forza wiki, and you will find the car model on the original Forza Motorsport. Now,
they're using a model from the first game, same old car models.
This isn't the first time they've done this. There was a Porsche that they decided to add. This exact car model has been sold to people 2-3 times, paid DLC. Now, it doesn't matter who you blame for that. Could be Porsche, could be them themselves. The fact of the matter is, this model is old, and it's not the only one. Like, let's be real. The environment looks pretty good. The game looks decent. These car models are letting the game down hugely. They need to be stripped and completely redone.
Isn't that what they're saying? 6 years for Forza. How is this not a priority? Stripped and redone models. They're showing old models from the first game in a game that has taken them 6 years now to do. The Forza Not at Launch edition. Well, not only do they have bad with that,
pretty good, right? To this, which looks pretty good. To this, which looks
look at
good.
this. Look at the degradation of Forza.
These inconsistencies are driving me insane. I've not been able to tell what the game looks like. So we've gone from this, which looks pretty good, right? To this, which looks pretty good. To this, which looks quite flat.
How crazy is this? That's crazy. Let me go back to these super chats here when I finish the end of this video here. The Game Night 123 says, would you ship that? What you just played? His quote about quality. Man, where are the quality control from Phil? I'll be questioning the devs if this was PlayStation first party. Yeah, right? Where is he? Where is he?
Would you ship that? What you just played? Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer!
Like, yeah. Like, I'm sick of it. This is the MO, dude. It's the MO. Wait, MGX, wait, we're going to get there. Jags game with the 5. Thank you again. He goes, Digital Foundry more like digital frauds, digital capping. Technical explanations, dude. I don't know. He's just a Bethesda fan. Maybe doesn't want to shit on Todd Howard for lying to him. But for a place that analyzes frames and everything, I don't understand how they say that about that stuff. 30 frames and excuses for load screens on the SSD next-gen consoles, and SSD is a minimum, right? But we got all these load screens. What about, like, streaming assets and RAM and all this other trash that they talk about? No Man's Sky PSVR 2 with latest patches, Ultimate Space Fantasy. Also, loving Crossfire on the PSVR 2. Also, remake. Resident 4 remake coming to PSVR 2 coming soon. Xbox can't compete. Waleed is now a Game Cat. Thank you so much. Specifically, a White Tiger. Thank you so much for your super chat. And you know what? I think it's time we just do this before we go back to the Forza video. Thank you for that. Now, you see the quality of this game going downhill, right?
What does this game look like? Now, I personally actually don't really care about the
race and customize with more than 800 unique upgrades.
Bro, 800 unique upgrades, and you showed the Forza Aero! I have had enough of this wing!
This wing is on every game you edit. That's customization. But wait. The progression is where we talk about this.
The player
want to, you know, with a list of
gain those car points. Here's the thing.
Car points. Forza, the service game. I told you. Forza, the service game.
Car and continuing your journey with it. And you can see here, we've just unlocked a number of upgrades that you can go and install in your car. So let's actually go and check out our new car building screen. Cars in the new Forza Motorsport are built, not bought. As your car levels up, it gains car points and unlocks upgrades. Here, up in the top right, you can see your car points, and that's the resource that's used to install any of the upgrades that you unlock. Car points are like skill or talent points in other games. You can allocate them to install a part, but here's the thing. You aren't locked into any of those choices at any time. You can easily uninstall a part and regain those car points so you can use those points elsewhere. This gives the player a great amount of agency in building experimentation. Also, since you aren't spending credits on upgrades, the built not bought system frees you from having to decide between, say, buying a cool new car or upgrading your current car.
So initially, I was like, okay, well, they've added a bit of progression, right? So that's good. And then they elaborated a bit more. So basically, to progress in this game, you can buy cars with money, cool, but you must use car points to unlock parts, and these car points require you to drive that exact car,
And you gotta grind the car. So basically what they're doing is they basically put the Call of Duty model. So you have to level up a car in order to upgrade that car. You get car points as you use the car in order to upgrade it. And it takes about 3 to 5 hours from what people are expecting to upgrade each car. So you can't just go buy upgrades. You got to level up the car. It's prestige for cars, exactly. It's Call of Duty model. The grind.
From what we can kind of tell, based on what they've said, it can take 3 to 5 plus hours to unlock those parts. So you can have all the money in the world from jumping between cars, as you would want to, you know, with a list of 500 cars, but you can't upgrade them all unless you do 5 hours per 500 cars. That's, that a lot.
Yeah. So tell me about Game Pass. Tell me. 6 years for Forza. Legacy features not there, but guess what they focused on? A new progression system. Why? Remember how they messed up Halo? Co-op wasn't there. All the maps weren't there. But know what was there? The goddamn Battle Pass. They made sure that thing was working. The Battle Pass. Give you 3-5 maps. But with the Battle Pass has to make sure it works. The monetization has to work. Now we got Forza, the service game, because of Game Pass. 6 years of what? To try to make sure how to make this game a grind fest? Or maybe you could buy levels? I don't know.
Oh, and Psychonauts 2. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes.
All because of Game Pass.
And they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, a Plague Tale Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Skyrim 2, Ground, Shroom, and Doom. 'Cause they're all on Game Pass. Among Us, the Ascent, and more.
Gran Turismo, Froggy, is that you earn money and you could go buy upgrades and buy whatever car you want. You're not listening to what he's saying. You could have all the money you want from races, but you can't level up you can't buy stuff for your car because you need car points for that car. In order to get that is that you have to level up your car. You got to grind a car to do that. You don't just have a bolus of money and spend it on the shop and add, you know, oh, hey, I want to, remember in Gran Turismo, you need certain cars for certain races. So you buy the car, but then you could also use that money to buy items for that car. But that money is universal. This is locking you into each car. That's what he's saying, why it's 15 hours to level up the cars to upgrade them. English, please.
500 cars, but you can't upgrade them all unless you do 5 hours per 500 cars. That's, that a lot. 1,000.
Yes, but this is more restrictive, dude. That's the problem. This is restrictive to each car. And they're using old car models on top of that. But this is restrictive to each car. This is not just grinding out races to get money to buy and level up car, to buy and add stuff to cars. This is, you need to grind each car. So you get one car, you got to race that car to get it to a level. No, it's different. English,
500 hours if it takes 3 hours per car. Now, you're not going to actually do all the cars, but ultimately it feels like a way of artificially inflating the time that you will play this game. And that is where I have an issue with Game Pass. Because you don't purchase the game anymore with money, just here's $60, essentially they are looking for your playtime. They assign and allocate budgets surely based on your playtime, so most games would add more content. But no, let's be real, they're not actually going to do that. They're going to artificially say, oh look, this player played for 5 hours. In reality, all you did is upgrade one car that you want to play online with a group of friends or YouTubers or whatever in an open lobby setting. You can't actually race against them until you've grinded out for about 3 to 5 hours. The more time you play, the more money they'll get allocated for updates and such, so that does benefit us, but also the next game. I don't think this is going to have the effect they think it's going to have. I think it's going to have the opposite effect. I think people are not going to bother as much playing this game. There's going to be some ultimate hardcore players, but they cannot match the Horizon feel. It's a little bit worrying if you're a Forza Motorsport fan, because realistically, Horizon's gone past. Motorsport is extra going to be left in the dust, if this is the case.
Do you find a motif with their games? Starfield, it's great for people that like Bethesda games. They'll stick around, play it. Halo, the people that are diehard into Halo will stick around and play it. Forza, the diehards will stick around and play it. But meanwhile, all Microsoft is talking about is more people to play these games. They're not going after the diehards. They got them already. They're going after the casuals. They're going to the people that don't know. But this is not working. This is not working. Phil said it under oath. Their cloud thing didn't bring in new players. Their cloud exploration didn't bring in new because people don't want to play on a 5-inch screen over Wi-Fi, over the internet. They don't. So what is this doing? It doesn't seem like it's helping anything. It's just isolating. And the problem is the diehards that you have left are the ones that are going to know about all the changes that you miss, all those legacy features. That's why you hear people complaining about the split screen, the lack of drag racing, the lack of this, because the only people that are invested right now are the diehards. And those are the only people that will be there. But they're supposed to be fixing this. 10 years, they said also for Redfall, they're going to fix that. Like, what? It's just so pathetic. It's ridiculous. But Twisted Sync, what's up? He goes, $2. He goes, fanboys are flooding the Steam ratings for Starfield, dude.
You're my #1 customer.
What, they're inflating it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Starfield is going to do what it does. It's going to be there for modders. It's a new playground for them. It's going to do what it's going to do. Listen, I'm not going to put a poll up here, but Grinders, what do you think? You think that we're going to get, you think MPD is going to change? You think Microsoft's going to be in first because of Starfield? Xboxes are flying off of shelves? Starfield will probably make the MPDs, but that'll probably be thanks to Steam, not Xbox. People are probably buying it from there. But it's just, this Game Pass thing has destroyed their games. Like, it has not made things better. And that's the problem. I said this 5 years ago. I started this channel because of that. I didn't like this direction. I knew what a subscription service would do to their first party. And putting everything in there was not the answer. And people knew that. But instead, they wanted to walk the line and follow the brand of Phil Spencer. and idolize him for doing things that hurt the brand. And here we are again. More excuses. Need more time. Need this. Forza don't have it at launch. But this is your next game right now. Nobody's talking about it. And September 11th, they already got a bunch of people already testing the game out, but they're on NDA. But they told us they're on NDA, but they can't talk about the game until September 11th. That'll be the next cap session for all the stuff that's not in Forza and how it's okay. And how the grind is okay. Please. What a waste. And this is motorsport. This is the thing that started racing, man. I was a huge Forza fan. I never liked Gran Turismo. I loved Forza. Forza what got me into racing, car racing. Forza 1, man, I bought the strategy guide. I love that. I loved Forza. I learned about like racing and drifting and turning into the angles, and that's how I was even interested in car racing. That I had Toka Race Driver before that. Codemasters made some good racing games. But Forza, the customization and the liveries, man, making all those cool skins for the car. I loved Forza. And it's just sad to see excuses again when Forza was the most celebrated game on Xbox, technically impressive game, and the most complete game. Avatars, Drivatars. Forza was always the most complete game. They diluted it by 7 of them. But now we're back to excuses. Another franchise that they're just driving into the ground. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of sorries because the Forza people are going to be real pissed off when things are not there. And Microsoft's going to have to be there saying, we're sorry, we heard you, we'll fix Forza and all this other stuff. But I'm pre-downloading Starfield. I'll probably do a stream tomorrow on it. We'll see. Maybe I'll play a little bit tonight to see a little bit like that. But yeah, GT got me now. I liked Gran Turismo on, Sport. It was my first time into a Gran Turismo game, and GT7, awesome. That replaced it. They did the liveries. They did everything. They made it better. Imagine that. And one last point I'll leave the grinders with. Hit that like button, grinders, and thank you for all your support, all the super chats, and all the VIPs, and everybody just hanging out in the grind house. I told you we stay in the room only. We had tons of people in here. A lot of goggling as well, but it is what it is. That's their job. But isn't it amazing how, and I'm going to bring PlayStation right into this thing. Isn't it amazing how when PlayStation gets in there, we're going to see Spider-Man 2. And we're going to expect everything to be better than Spider-Man 1. Horizon was better than the first game. GT7 was better than GT Sport. God of War Ragnarok did bigger and better than the first one. Isn't it interesting how it's always better, but when we get to Halo Infinite, it's worse. It's less than. We get to Crackdown 3, it's less than. We get to Starfield. It's so big, so massive, but it's just doing what Fallout 4 did. What happened to be better?
You're my #1 customer.
Why is it not better? Why is Xbox not making their sequels better, learning from their mistakes and making their next games better? How are they less than a regression? And that's acceptable and celebrated because of Phil Spencer. Makes no sense. Creative decisions, a new excuse. Waleed is now a game cat, specifically a white tiger with the 2. He goes GT7 on PSVR 2 as well. Major differentiating factor. Facts. That's right. VR 2 is another caveat. VR 2 is better than VR 1. The games, the lineup, what they got is another thing that Sony dropped this year. PSVR 2. Better. You pay more, get better. Right? and said Xbox. Phil Spencer took it on the chin, right?
Do not be sorry. Be better.
Better. You're paying more. The prices are going up. You know, Sony increased their prices. They still need to show why. That's on them. But when you're talking about just about the games will be better. We pay more. We're in a new generation. It's not acceptable because they sucked before and now they're just meek and just, oh, that's it's not sucky now. What? Well, then guess what? You don't get all my money right now then. Exactly. The Portal is icing on cake. Please, the headphones, the Portal, just be better. It'd be better for us as consumers. Like this capping and stuff. They wanted it to be better. They wanted Starfield to be a 96, be the best. Game of the year. All that capping is not going to work. Especially not this year when there's a lot of good games. But that is the Grindhouse for everybody. Thank you again.
Another one.
Another one. There. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank you for all your support. I got work to do now on the chart. Put everybody on there. But keep it locked here for the Gaming Grindhouse. And we're going to do the Starfield stream because guess what? You want to do it right? You got to do it yourself. I'm not here listening to people tell me what about the game. I'm going to play it myself. And we're going to do it live, grinders. So keep it locked here. I'm going to play this game and we're streaming it. We're going to see all the eyeballs and all the menu screens and all the loading screens. And we're going to play it. And we're going to see what it's all about. So keep it locked here at the Gaming Grindhouse. Subscribe if you're new. Either tomorrow or the next day, we're streaming this game. And we're going to play it. And we're going to find out. In space. Do you hear you scream? Because I'm going to be screaming. When I land on a planet, look around, Todd Howard told me to explore. I'm going to lift up my mask and go, what are we doing here?
You're my number one customer.
That's what I'm going to do. Game 9123, thank you. He goes, Jez, just wait 10 years. Pete Hines said so. Yes, he said we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it in 10 years. All right, Pete Hines. See you later, man. He's ready to cash that check out. Yeah, we'll fix it. See you later, everybody. Thank you again, grinders. We are out. Another Grindhouse closed. Tip your waiters. And be careful getting home, everybody. Good night.
Oh, and second us too.